Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it. Happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome to Undisputed. We're live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. How you guys doing?
We're good. Sorry I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
You old party poop over here.
Yeah, you guys are boring.
I'm all black. It's for Halloween.
It's not Friday.
Yes, it's Halloween.
It's not Friday.
I wear all black on Friday. You know what I do. I wear all black on Friday.
It's not Friday.
I'm like a one-man horror show for him.
Wow.
He's scared of only one thing in life, me.
That was impressive.
Man, I'm about to beat you down.
That's impressive.
Oh, Howie T did it again. Oh, Howie T. Get him, Howie.
Oh, boy. We have a lot to get to on today's Halloween edition of Undisputed. So is all the pressure now on Skip's guy, Dak Prescott?
No.
Shannon's Lakers, are they going to ever figure it out?
No.
And boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard is in studio with us. That's later. We're going to start with a big trade in the NFL. There were some big moves before yesterday's deadline, especially in the NFC East. The Eagles got another weapon for Carson Wentz, trading a third-round pick to the Lions for Golden Tate. Tate has had at least 90 catches in each of the last 4 seasons. This comes a week after the Cowboys traded a first-round pick for Amari Cooper, but Cooper only has 1 touchdown catch this season. Shannon, who got the better wide receiver, Philly or Dallas?
I believe Philly. I like Golden Tate because I think he's been more consistent over the last year and a half, and that's what we're going to base it on. We're just going to base it on the last year and a half, Skip Bayless, or if you want to just take this year. Howie T, Ohio Roseman. Oh, man, he did it again. He said, we gunning for it. We going for it because this is what seems to be the new way of thinking.
Yep.
Have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract, feeling good. Let's go ahead and go for it. There's a good chance that Golden Tate's going to leave after this year, Skip. So they gave basically a third rounder for an 8-9 game rental. Okay, Howie T says, hey, we could get to win the Super Bowl again. All well, I don't mind spending a third-round pick for this. See, the thing that I like most about Golden Tate is that I know exactly what I'm going to get. I'm going to get consistency. I'm going to get a guy that's great in traffic. I'm going to get a guy that can play inside or outside. And he's going to fit in Philly because he's a blue-collar type of a guy. Skip, he's going to be an extension of the running game because their run game has dropped off considerably from last year. No Blunt, no Ajayi. So you understand that. But jailbreak screens, jet sweeps, he's tremendous. He's like when he gets the ball in his hand, he's almost like a running back, Skip. He's unbelievable with the ball in his hands. So I like this. I like the move from this aspect also. When I look at Amari Cooper, since the start of last season, he has more games in which he has 10 or fewer yards than he has 100 yards. Let that sink in for a second. 6 games this year. 2 games over 100, 4 with 10. Come on, Skip, with 20 yards or less.
My turn?
No! Nobody asked you to speak. Jenny said, Shannon, Shannon, who got the better?
He's just ready over here.
No, stop there. Stop banging on the table. You're like a child. I love this from Philly because it gives them more weapons. Alshon seems to be coming back. Now you throw Golden Tate into the mix. And Jordan Matthews seems to be the only place that he can shine is in Philly. He has a great rapport with Carson Wentz. And those 2 tight ends are going to be huge. So I love this move. And they only gave up a third-round pick. Now, I get that Philly drove the price up for Amari Cooper because they had a second-round pick on the table, and Dallas wanted a receiver because we're going to talk about Jerry, what he said about the reason why they made this move, which we talk about that later. But anyway, they drove the price up because they had a second-round pick on the table for Amari Cooper. Dallas wanted Amari Cooper, so they had to go to a first-round pick. So third, with the consistency of Golden Tate, or first in the inconsistency of Amari Cooper, I think the Eagles got the better end of this deal, and I think for this year, I think Golden Tate will be the better of the 2 receivers.
So before I get to my answer, you were talking about the new way is the rookie contract of the rookie quarterback or the young quarterback. There's still the old way to do it up in New England. They still have a 41-year-old quarterback, and the Pats just stood pat yesterday. And I don't know. I think they're still pretty good.
But what we've seen is that these new way of quarterbacks, they're not going to give you the hometown discount that Tom Brady has given the Patriots over the last 15 years.
Another point for Tom Brady. Thank you very much
you
for
get no
making
point for
that
that
one. So my mother didn't teach me a whole lot, but she did always say to me, you get what you pay for. She always said that to me. She was pretty smart when it came to dealing with money. She was a bank teller for a while, ran a little restaurant for a while. Dallas got the most because it paid the most. It got exactly what it paid for. And Philly got exactly what it paid for. It got the equivalent of a third-round pick. That's what the bang for the buck will be with Golden Tate. And I respect him. Heck,
So you said Amari Cooper has played like a first-round pick. That's what you're telling me.
I'm telling you that as a rookie and as a sophomore in this league, he made the Pro Bowl. Then he had an off year last year. He got caught in the crossfire of a really sorry unloading situation with John Gruden taking over and just saying, I'm going to start
that
over.
was this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, last year. What happened?
I said he had an off year last year. I don't know.
Okay.
It's starting to unravel.
Okay.
2 Pro Bowls in your first 2 years. So to me, Amari Cooper has star power. He's got higher ceiling. He's got more upside. Golden Tate is what he is and what he'll always be, which is pretty good.
Has Golden Tate ever made a Pro Bowl?
And he made one in
Okay.
2014.
Okay.
So it's 2-1.
Okay.
But Amari Cooper, is this possible? He's only 24 years old. He's only in his 4th year, and Golden Tate is 30 years of age in his 9th year. So Golden Tate for that third rounder is in the final year of his contract. So he was just what, a rental, Shannon? Is that right? Amari Cooper still has another year on his deal. So Dallas invested a first rounder for the long haul, right? Because they got a star who's already a proven star who will turn back into a star for them.
How do you know that?
I just feel it.
Oh, that's what you feel?
Yeah.
Well, you know they got some Bactin in the back.
Do
for
they?
That itch, yeah, some lidocaine or something to rub on that itch you got. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish up about Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper was the 4th overall pick for a reason because he's got star power. And Golden Tate fell to the bottom of the 2nd round because he's just a pretty good football player. So
What round did Tom Brady fall to? He's just a pretty good football.
That just shattered the mold. But he's still
okay.
shattering the
Okay.
mold.
Okay.
He shattered it early and he's shattering it late because he's still playing at the highest level at age 41. But you can't seem to come to grips with that or make peace with that because it haunts you like Halloween haunts you.
I'm good with it. But here's my thing. You keep saying that Cooper has the upside. I care about production. I care about performance right now. So in 2-3 years from now, okay, that's fine. But what about right now? Because let me ask you this. I've been wanting to ask you this because you were talking and I wrote it down. I wrote it down. Is it possible that we've seen the best of Amari Cooper in his first 2 years?
Heck no.
Why do you say that?
He's 24.
What does age have to do with anything?
24?
Well, Tom Brady's 41. So he shouldn't be playing like this. So what does the age have to do with anything?
It has everything to do
How?
with that.
Why?
He had to get out of what it was starting to teeter into a bad situation last year in Oakland, right? And what do you tell me all the time? I don't know about Derek Carr. Jury's way out on Derek Carr. Am I right about that?
The jury's still out on Dak Prescott.
It is not out.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to save all that for later because we're going to hit that head on in about 3 more topics from now. But Dak Prescott has proven at the highest level with the 3rd best QBR as a rookie and the 4th best as a sophomore that he can play at that Amari Cooper level. So all of a sudden.
So why do you continuously do this? Because someone has the 3rd best QBR, does that make them the 3rd best quarterback in the league?
In production, it does.
No. I'm not talking about no production.
Yeah,
so he didn't produce the playoffs last year. So what does that
furthermore, what did the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe tell me all year last year? Des Bryant has become a liability.
Yeah.
He can no longer separate, and he never did run routes to begin with.
Right.
And now that he's lost some speed, he just can't get away from anybody.
Yes.
And what kept happening all last year, Dak Prescott said, Reed's telling me to go to 88.
Right.
He's single covered. I'm going
Yes.
to throw it to 88, 88, 88. No. He led the league in drops last year. So he had to overcome that. He had to overcome a 6-game loss of Ezekiel Elliott. He had to overcome the loss
What does he do with anything? If he's that guy, Tom Brady overcome
He was that guy. Last year they went 9-7. He had the 4th best QBR. That's a hellacious great
What did he do his rookie year? But we're not talking about
Okay, well, thank you for bringing that up. He simply played the best rookie year quarterback we've ever seen in this league.
Ben Roethlisberger says, hold my beer.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
You want to talk about a caretaker, a game manager?
Now he a caretaker.
Yeah.
Now he a caretaker.
He was.
Skip, I'm not going to let you.
Ask James Harrison.
I'm not going to let you distract me from Golden Tate.
Well, I'm just telling you, Dak Prescott, I think we both agree, the offensive line has been a shocking bust this year for the Dallas Cowboys.
You know what I've noticed? We blame a lot of things. We blame the offensive line. We blame Sean Lee's injury. Dez Bryant couldn't get open and he can't catch. He can't hold on to the ball. Jason Witten has gotten slow. Ezekiel Elliott can't stay out of trouble. He was suspended.
We
keep blaming
I
everybody.
like all those. You just listed a whole bunch of valid excuses.
Yeah, but I noticed somehow number 4 gets to escape any blame or culpability in this.
But yet Shannon Sharpe made all those points all last year.
Hold on.
As if they were legitimate, valid points.
So who's the quarterback?
Yeah.
He gets the
played
line
really well
But,
last year.
but you mentioned but I'm not, listen, I'm getting back to Golden Tate. I love Golden Tate because I love the consistency. I can't have a guy in 6 games go over 100 and then in 4 games go less than 20. That's unacceptable, Skip Bayless. That's inconsistent. Now, you told me John Gruden was going to change the life in Oakland.
Well, he will. He's starting it over. He nuked it.
Whoa!
He tore it down
That's
so
not
he
what
could
he
build
said.
it back
That's
up.
not what he said when he took the job, so he lied. Or it's alternative facts. But that's nothing here nor there. We're not talking about the Golden Tate. You know you like Golden Tate.
I respect him, but I don't think he's exactly Golden State, as in a one-man dynasty.
Oh, and
right?
Amari Cooper
is he a combination of KD and Steph? I don't think so.
When was the last time somebody traded a receiver, a boss receiver, 4 years into their career in the middle of the season, if he bang like you said?
When was the last time anybody traded the best defensive player in football, the best pass rusher in football, in the middle of his prime? John Gruden did that also, because John Gruden said, I'm starting over. I want my guys.
Whoa.
Okay? So can don't you lump them together?
The last time John Gruden had all of his guys, he ended up getting fired in Tampa. You remember that? When Tony Dungy's guys got old? Oh, you remember what happened, Skip Bayless?
Well, he did win a Super Bowl. I don't know.
With Tony, what guy did he draft?
Well, obviously Tony didn't win a Super Bowl with Tony's guys.
Oh,
right?
But I'm not saying that I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to. Tony went to
By the way,
Indy.
John very possibly would have won a Super Bowl with his guys in Oakland if
No.
not for the Tuck rule. If not for the Tuck rule.
Maybe.
And I'm making an anti-Brady point here, but that was wrong.
I don't believe that his team would have beaten that 2001 Rams team, but that's neither here nor there. But when you look at Golden Tate, his body of work, he comes to work. He's a lunch pail type of a guy.
He
comes to
I give
play
you that.
every single week. If he gets the ball in his hands, he's great run after the catch. He can play the slot. He can play outside. He'll block. He is a blue-collar. Philly fans will love this guy because he's lunch pail, blue-collar type of a guy.
So do you want superstar or lunch pail? I'll take superstar.
Give me the lunch pail guy that shows up every single week. I'll give you the superstar that shows up. I don't know when he's going to show up because he got that Lauryn Hill in him. Because Lauryn Hill might have a concert and that starts at 8 and she ain't getting there till 10:30.
Really?
He got 30. Yeah, I know.
Or it's like Kawhi Leonard. He might play or he might not.
We're not talking
he
about
might not
Kawhi.
play.
Skip, don't
maybe
do that.
tonight he doesn't feel like
Skip,
playing, so he just doesn't play.
Why would you do that to Kawhi?
Because you brought up a point. I made the
He
same
deserves
point.
better. You see him drop that 31? You see what he did to
When
Ben
he
Simmons?
decides, he's
did you
pretty good.
see what he did to Ben Simmons? Oh, Ben Simmons had a triple dub.
And that
but not a
means
good
tomorrow
one.
night he's off.
He might.
He's hurt. He's got a thigh bruise.
They ain't got no back-to-back.
got a
He just he took the back-to-back of the front end. But let's get back to the issue.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper and the inconsistency. What would we do in sports, Skip? Every day in sports is the one occupation. Unlike being a school teacher, unlike being a lawyer that you're not in a trial. You got to update your resume.
I know, and Amari's about to update his this coming Monday night at Jerry World against the Tennessee Titans, who have the third best defense in pro football.
Really?
Yep, let's see
Really?
what happens.
But here's the thing. Your defense can be really good if you got an offense that's competent. Come on, Skip. Really? You're going to take the Tennessee Titans offense against the Dallas Cowboys defense on the road? Really?
All you can do is play who you play on the schedule, and that's who comes to Jerry World.
Oh,
that's next.
So if that's the case, why are you
And
guys
if they
3
get
and 4?
to 4-4, then here
Why
we
are
go.
you guys 3 and 4? You can only play who's on the schedule.
Yeah. By the way, one of those 3 came courtesy of Golden Tate's Detroit team. So we already beat Golden Tate once this year. Can you believe that?
Oh, really?
And he actually had his best game of the year, and Dak still overcame him.
And it took.
Can you believe that? How do you explain that?
It took Ezekiel Elliott having the career game, and you won by 3 on a walk-off field goal. It took Ezekiel
career
Elliott.
game?
That was the most yards from scrimmage.
It was a one-play game. It was Dak to Zeke. I don't know. Can we see that play?
It was
Oh, wait, here it is. Look at this. Is that not a clutch, big-time throw? And what a catch by the running back running a deep route. Wow. Right over the shoulder. What a throw that was.
He had one in Washington.
That's for the money.
He had one in
That's
Washington.
for the football game.
He had one in
That's
Washington.
to overcome Golden State, Golden Tate.
Oh, hold on.
Look at this.
Hold on.
Look at this. That's a walk-off field goal right there.
Exactly.
You believe in that?
It took a catch like that
Yeah.
from a running back that doesn't normally catch the ball down the field.
So-
250 scrimmage yards to get a walk-off field goal
You
to
tell
beat.
Howie Roseman that Golden Tate is already 0-1 against Dallas, and I don't know, he could be 0-2, he could be 0-3, or he could match the all-time record of going 0-4 against the same team if by chance Dallas and Philly meet in the playoffs.
Well, will you tell Jerry Jones and what's the other guy name? What's the do all the picking for the Cowboys? What's his name? Will McClay.
Will McClay.
Oh, Will McClay.
Yeah.
Will you tell him that Amari Cooper is 1-5?
Amari Cooper?
Yeah, 1-5.
Oh, okay.
He would have been 1-6 had he stayed in Oakland. But anyway, he's there.
Against who?
Amari Cooper's the Raiders are 1-6.
Against?
Amari is 1-5.
Oh, now. Oh, now.
Yeah, he was 1-5.
Oh.
1-5 is Amari Cooper. Now I know he might be. Oh, the upside is
They
there.
traded Khalil. You said it was the worst move in the history of pro football.
Yeah, I don't believe you should have done it. No.
Okay,
absolutely.
well, that just ripped the guts out of the heart out of that team.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Let me tell you why it's a bad move. Because Khalil Mack is a defensive player of the year, double-digit sack guy, all-pro, the first guy to be to be an all-pro at two different positions in his prime. Amari Cooper with the inconsistency, I can see why they moved on. Can you see why they moved on? Can you give me one good reason why they would trade Khalil Mack, a defensive player of the year?
Can you give me one good reason why you trade Amari Cooper?
Yes, the inconsistency.
Oh.
200-yard games and 4 games under 20.
I told you there were a bunch of games where in the fourth quarter I couldn't find Khalil Mack, and that's what John Gruden decided. I just don't love it, the consistent effort from him.
And there have been a bunch of games I couldn't find Amari Cooper in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter. You keep talking about one quarter. I'm talking about a game.
Wow.
How many Pro Bowls have Khalil Mack been to? How many All-Pros?
Lost count.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of them.
Yeah, exactly. So you realize how foolish John Gruden is for trading this guy.
Okay, so he traded Amari for a first-rounder, and guess who wanted Amari Cooper? Guess who Howie Roseman's first choice was this year for a receiver?
But he didn't.
Who was it?
He didn't put a first-round tag on.
Well,
it.
he just got outbid for the first time in a long time.
We drove the price up. We drove the price up.
So you're
we
just
didn't
trying to
really
fake
want
him
it.
out?
We just drove the price
now
up.
you're a we with Philly. How many bandwagons can you ride at one time?
Hey, don't worry about what bandwagon.
You must be doing the splits. How wide splits are you? You're on like 7 bandwagons at once.
Fly Eagles.
Okay.
But here's the thing. If we
Howie Roseman tried to get Amari Cooper.
Guess what? If we'd have wanted him, guess what we could have did, Skip? Put another first round on him. If they'd have wanted him, because that's all they had to do.
They got outbid.
Skip.
Jerry swooped in and closed the deal.
So let me ask you a question. Normally how it works is that you go back and forth. We offer this. The other team offers that. We offer this. The other team offers that. They call you back, said the Cowboys have a first-round pick. Since we started bidding with you first, if you offer a first-rounder, you could have Amari Cooper. Howie T said, nah, we good. We got what we wanted to accomplish. Drove the price up. Dallas took a first round.
Oh,
we
so he faked him out. He deked him. That's what you're saying.
Got him.
And then he said, well, I'll just spend a third for Golden Tate.
On Tate.
You know
golden.
What?
He will be golden.
He will be worth nothing more than a third-round pick. And if we can go down, because Jerry Jones
So
got
Tom
a lot
Brady-
of hate yesterday on Twitter, if we can go right down the list, Demaryius Thomas will be worth no more than a fourth-rounder to the Houston Texans. That's who he is, what he's worth now.
So in their 4 years, who's had a better career the last 4 years? Amari Cooper or Demaryius Thomas?
Demaryius.
Okay, then.
But what do you see now?
What do you see now from Amari Cooper? Besides, he's 24.
He's 24.
Oh, exactly. That's when you keep hanging on the man's age.
Yeah, but every time I turn on the TV and start watching Demaryius, who I used to love, because boy, did he not catch a big ball from Tim Tebow. Remember, Demaryius caught that ball in overtime?
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh,
believe that?
every time I turn on the TV and I'm watching Amari Cooper, I see whoop whoop whoop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know what kind of
saw
candy he
2
passing
Pro
out for
Bowls.
Halloween. Butterfingers.
Every time I turned on St. Nick's games when Amari was
That's college.
Oh, that's college. I saw him just running by people.
Exactly. That got him to be drafted with the 4th overall pick. But now, Skip, he has a new location. I got all, it's like a guy that gets all A's in college, but then when he gets on the job, he can't hold a job down. What you did in college has nothing to do with what you do on the new job. So what is he doing now? What did he do for the Raiders? The Raiders. Nothing.
What has Demaryius done for you lately?
Well, we ain't talking about
I have seen loss of speed. I see loss of heart.
Hold on.
I see not the same
Whoa,
guy.
whoa, whoa.
I see him taking that same.
Eddie!
Wait. I see him taking that path into the sunset that we saw Dez taking a year ago.
Jenny, step in here. Where's Demaryius? Hold up. Who got the better receiver, Philly or Dallas? We ain't talking about DT.
Everybody's
Talking
saying-
about trades.
Everybody's talking about, Jerry Jones paid a first, and look, Texans got Demaryius Thomas for a fourth. That's who he is now. He's a fourth-round draft pick.
So
that's it.
So,
period.
so you get to hang your hat on Amari Cooper being 24 and being the former fourth.
Demaryius Thomas is 30 years old on the way out of this league. You know it, and I know it. And I hope he helps Deshaun a little bit, but he's not going to help him a lot.
Is he better than the second option in Houston?
Sure.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So that's worth a fourth-round pick.
But is he Amari Cooper? No.
What you mean is he Amari Cooper?
He's not.
Amari Cooper's not even Amari
Yes,
Cooper.
he is.
He dressed up as Halloween. He dressed up as Halloween as Amari Cooper from the first 2 years. Good luck with that.
I'm hearing scared from across
Scared of
the
what?
table. Scared of Amari. Because that's Amari. Yeah.
I tell you what you won't be hearing.
Yeah.
Amari is sorry.
Oh, are you going to say that? Yeah. And furthermore, the other pick, maybe the biggest gamble at the trade deadline happened a little before the trade deadline, but it was Bill Belichick gave a fifth-rounder for what was left of Josh Gordon. He just had another incident in Cleveland that raised suspicions, and Cleveland, even the Browns said, we're out, man.
Right.
We can't take this anymore.
Yes.
So Bill Belichick gave a fifth, a conditional fifth for Josh Gordon.
Okay.
And already there are a couple of reports that he was late to a bus to the airport with the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick says, I don't know anything about that, but there are two big reports about it. So I'm figuring something happened. We all know that Josh Gordon has been suspended one time after another, dating back to Baylor University, right?
Yes.
So is that not a high-risk gamble?
Yes.
Okay.
But for a fifth-round pick, that's nothing.
Okay. But I don't think anybody else in this league would have even risked a fifth on Josh Gordon at that moment.
But everybody in this, there's no one else in this league that has 5 Super Bowls, that has the cachet, that has a 20-year career of one location as Coach Belichick. So he's able to do things, say things, and get away with things that no other coach can.
Okay.
We understand that.
And what I don't understand is the Josh Gordon I'm seeing now during games doesn't look nearly as explosive as I expected him to. He's not 2013 Josh Gordon anymore.
No, he's older, Skip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take some time. And who knows? Maybe he'll never be that explosive of Josh Gordon that we saw that lead the league in
Okay,
receiving.
so my bottom line is, my takeaway from all of these acquisitions of receivers, Dallas got the best one. Dallas spent the most, got the best.
I disagree.
Way to go.
I mean,
way to go, Jerry Jones. He finally woke up and did something.
There's a lady about 3 years ago at a rummage sale. We call them rummage sale, garage sale.
Sure.
But anyway, she ended up buying this little painting. And they were like, I think she paid $20 for it. Guess what was behind the painting? An original copy of the Declaration of Independence. So you better be careful, Skip Bayless, how you
It
judge.
was the original copy?
An original copy.
There can't be an, it's just the or not.
Actually, there are several copies of the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
If you were a history major like you told me you were, you would know that.
Well, it's either the first one or it's not the first one.
There were several copies. If I'm not mistaken, I think there were 13 copies,
'cause there were
original
13
copies.
colonies.
But that ain't none of my business. But anyway, Skip Bayless,
What does that mean?
that means just because you judge it, Amari Cooper, he was the first pick of the draft. He's a first round.
Yep, I got you again. It's
No,
okay.
you didn't.
Yep.
Howie T got you.
Here come.
All right, get this. Did Tom Brady admit that he's not as good as Aaron Rodgers?
What?
We'll see. That's next.
He lied.
No mercy.
The focus of the huge Sunday night matchup between the Patriots and Packers will definitely be on the quarterbacks, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. It will be just the second time the future Hall of Famers have faced each other as starters. Yesterday, Brady gave some praise to Rodgers. Take a listen.
Just what he's done as a quarterback is, I think it's inspiring. Even for me, I mean, I watch his game and it makes me want to get out there and practice and improve because I think he's so, phenomenal with how he, manages himself in the pocket. I mean, his ability to throw the football is, unlike anyone in the probably history of the league. So it's pretty awesome to watch.
All right, Shannon, what do you read into those comments from Brady?
You bad.
Oh, you think he's scared?
You bad. You bad, Skip Bayless, for the first time.
I'm mad?
This might be
Do I
one of the
look
first
mad?
times that I actually think Brady is speaking the truth.
Oh.
Because Brady is just echoing what I've been saying for years.
Oh.
And played this game, studied this game, covered this game currently. I've never seen anybody at the quarterback position with those tools that Aaron Rodgers has. The ability to throw the ball from the pocket, the ability to change arm platforms, the ability to throw the ball on the move, rolling left and right with accuracy. He can fall in off his back foot, flick the ball 40 yards and drop it in the bucket. So all Brady did was echo what many of us, and why we say Aaron Rodgers is the greatest, is because what Tom Brady just echoed.
Oh, really?
But it also goes to show, you know, when guys say, I don't watch anybody else, they're being disingenuous. Every position watches the other position. Wide receivers watch other wide receivers. That's why they get upset when they see Julio catch 10 and they catch 3. Tom Brady watches quarterback. Running backs watch running backs. Von Miller watches Khalil Mack, who watches Aaron Donald. Of course they do. But see, in typical Tom fashion, it's not good enough to say, you know, Aaron is unbelievable. His ability to throw he got to add something to it. See, he's the type of guy, when I was a little boy, Jen, my grandpa used to take us to the store, my brother and I, and he'd buy us a church outfit. So he'd buy us a little suit. Suit probably cost like $30. Pair of socks. And he would tell the salesman, well, hell, since I bought 2 suits, a pair of socks, and a tie, you should throw the shirt in for free. You know what I'm saying? He got to add something. Why you just can't leave it alone? Why you got to add to it, Skip Bayless? You know Tom Brady got to add. All I asked for was a 4-layer cake. I come back, I got a 6-layer cake. Tom said, don't worry about it, because you're such a great customer. I just added 2 extra layers and some frosting for free. And that's what Tom Brady does. He always just overdoes it, Skip Bayless, and you know it. He was doing so good, and then he just, the way he throws the ball, manipulate the pocket, he inspires me. So in other words, you're saying this is the reason you want to play till you're 45, because of Aaron Rodgers inspiring you. Nah, you want to play till you're 45 because the rules are set up to protect you. But he didn't lie for the first part, because Aaron Rodgers is gifted thrower of the football that we've ever seen, and his ability to throw the ball from in and out of the pocket, rolling left and right, is unmatched by anybody that I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. And they're good. Now I got 4 eyes. Got some good old medicine in the tortoise shell. They look good. They look good.
I just need 2.
You need 3 or 4, because if you think Tom Brady can throw the ball better than that guy, if you think the secondary 12 can throw the ball better than the primary 12, you're sadly mistaken, Skip Bayless. Sadly mistaken. And I feel for you. I really do.
Tell me when you're finished.
I'm done.
Thank you. So here we go again with the Tom Brady that you know and don't love. It's aw shucks, golly gee.
It is.
Could you believe that, Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
Did you see him throw the football? I'm going to stay up late in my house and keep my kids up late because we got to watch Aaron Rodgers throw the football because I'm the nice man down the street. I'm Mr. Brady, right?
You know he's full of it.
That was well done.
We know he's full of it.
Thank you.
You know it too. That's why you said that.
Listen to this. I watch his game, and it makes me want to get out there and practice and improve. This is a 41-year-old quarterback saying this
He
about
said he loved the game. He loved everything about it. Practicing, studying, tape.
Yeah.
Are you calling Tom Brady a liar?
his ability to throw the football is unlike anyone in probably the history of the league.
Did he lie? Did he lie? Skip Bayless, yes or no? Like I'm saying, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire like you tell me all the time. Did Tom Brady lie?
There is method to this madness because he did add something that you did not acknowledge. He did add one line at the end of this soliloquy about Aaron Rodgers.
What?
He said he throws some of the best incompletions I've ever seen. That is some very subtle damning with faint praise.
Really,
That's bringing up the point that he does occasionally throw incompletions.
Occasionally.
And just remember, Tom Brady is speaking from a position of insurmountable strength when he talks down from his mountaintop about Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers will never ascend to that mountaintop. You know it, and I know it. You can have
there.
all the beauty contests that you want.
He there.
But in the end, Tom Brady has him big picture and he has him little picture, because position of strength, can we just do little picture right now? Tom Brady's having kind of an off year for the reigning MVP of this league, but he's 9th in QBR at 70. Aaron Rodgers is 21st in QBR at 54. Really?
But you do know
9th to 21st?
You do know that when a guy retires,
interesting.
QBR is not, it's passer rating.
Okay.
And Aaron Rodgers has the highest in
Interesting.
NFL history.
And as we speak, Tom Brady's completed 68% of his passes to only 61% for Aaron
Who
Rodgers.
has the highest completion percentage?
Wow, that's interesting.
Higher.
We're just talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady right now.
That's what I'm saying.
So Tom Brady somehow has his sorry team with its sorry defense and no running game and hit and miss receivers. He's got his team at 6-2. Aaron Rodgers got his team to 3-3-1. So they're a 500
Hold on.
team.
So now
Position of strength, speaking down to Aaron Rodgers.
If you don't mind me asking, so what was Sonny Michel?
Well, he's gone.
No, but you said they didn't have a running game.
Well, they don't have it now.
Oh, but
They just had to make the kick returner their primary running back.
Aaron Rodgers had a kick returner for the last 3 years. Did you know what Ty Montgomery got drafted as?
He's no longer a Thanks to Aaron Rodgers.
No, don't do that, Skip Bayless. No, I'm asking you a simple question. Tom Brady had a wide receiver playing running back on 10 plays. Aaron Rodgers had a wide receiver playing running back for 3 years. Let that sink in, Skip Bayless.
So what's Aaron Jones? What's Jamal Williams? You like them?
I'm saying
that's the first back and the second
I'm
back.
saying now.
Oh, interesting. So I don't need to remind anybody of this except maybe you, but Tom Brady has played in 8 Super Bowls and won 5.
Okay.
One long ago Super Bowl featured Aaron Rodgers, and that's his one and only Super Bowl. He did play in it, and he did win it, but it's 1-8. 5 victories for Tom Brady. Speaking down about Aaron Rodgers, he's a position of strength. It's insurmountable. That will never be touched by Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, since Aaron Rodgers won that long ago Super Bowl, he's 5-6 in the postseason. Tom Brady over that span is 13-5, and over his career span, he's 27-10 in the postseason to Aaron Rodgers 10-7. Think about it. Let me finish. 27-10 to 10-7.
Yeah.
That's pathetic. Like, how can we even put them in the same sentence?
You see what I love? I love how we make it. When we like something, Jenny, when we like a person, this is what we'll do. We'll say Aaron Rodgers has 10 playoff wins to 7 losses. Tom Brady has 27-10. But when we don't, well, that's a team game. He played a team game.
That's
if you look at Tom Brady's worst defense, since that Super Bowl that Aaron Rodgers won, that's been his best.
What you're missing is that Aaron Rodgers is no threat to Tom Brady. Zero threat. Tom Brady's up on the mountaintop saying, oh, he throws it unbelievably well. And that means what? Can you perform? Can you make the play that wins the game? That's what matters. That's what quarterback's all about.
You're talking about like Aaron Rodgers, like he Mitch Trubisky, like he Derek Carr. Are you for real?
You just named 2 guys who have better QBRs than he does right now.
But unfortunately, I'll tell you what, go to the Hall of Fame and look on the plaques and see how many QBRs up there. And then look how many passer ratings are up there. Because that's what they judge it by. Passer rating. And the guy that has the highest passer rating in NFL history, the guy that has the best touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history is Aaron bleeping Rodgers.
They judge it by Super Bowls. 8-1.
Game
over.
Well, Joe Montana should be number 1.
8-1.
Because he is 4-0, Jenny.
Well, that's a whole
no
other discussion.
Turnovers.
You can make that case all day if you want to, but we're talking about Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady.
Well, you brought it in.
Huh?
You brought it in.
What do you mean I brought it in?
You brought it up. Talk about he won all these Super Bowl, but he lost. He took the L.
We're talking about
he came to my restaurant.
8-1.
He came to my restaurant 3 times.
Who?
Tom Brady. I stayed up late.
He shouldn't have one time.
Yeah, no.
He went and won the game.
Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl has yet to come to my restaurant. I'm trying to get him to visit, but he won't visit, Skip.
Yeah, because it's been so long ago. What was it, like 12 years ago?
Don't do that, Skip.
Huh?
Don't do that.
He's become an old man. Yeah, you were out of business.
No, I was just starting up. I had a pop-up. And I said, Aaron, he didn't want to come. But Skip, you know Tom Brady has tremendous scoring defenses. If to look at the one top 10 scoring defense that Aaron Rodgers has, he went to and won the Super Bowl. Since then, he hasn't even had he hasn't really had a Bud Bowl defense, let alone Super Bowl defense.
Right now, the Patriots are 25th in yards allowed. Whew.
No, hold on. Do you win, Jenny? You go to all these games. You see
of course
Oklahoma.
I do.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you win games with yards or points? Because where are the New England Patriots as far as points, Skip Bayless? See, come on, don't do me like this.
Tom Brady was doing Aaron like this.
No, he wasn't.
You know,
admiring. He got to think about that because we know that. We've seen some of the most beautiful women in the world say, "Oh, I wish I had a butt like her. I wish I had her hair. I wish I had her eyes." That's what Tom Brady was doing. Tom Brady got 5 Super Bowls, and he's admiring the work that Aaron Rodgers does. Yep. Let that sink in. Let it sink in, Skip Bayless.
Tom Brady always says the right thing at the right time about everybody.
No, don't do that, Skip.
Yep.
Don't do.
You're the one who always ridicules him
Let me tell you.
for talking the biggest bunch of cliched trash you've ever heard. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all the time. It happens all the time, Skip. I've seen it. Some of the most beautiful women that be on television. I just love her. I just love her hair. I love her. Her leg. Did you see her?
Do you think that?
I'm telling you what people say.
I don't think that.
I hear them talking about Jennifer Garner. Like, I love her arms. Did you see her
definitely have
arms?
said
I mean, you talk about look at Jen and my home team. Nice.
I don't know if he's actually saying that about Rodgers.
That's what he's saying. He admired the man's work. Admiring.
Then every time Tom Brady gets asked about who's the greatest quarterback ever, he always says something like, it's just truly impossible to answer that question.
It is. It is.
Who do you think he thinks is the greatest ever? Tom Brady thinks Tom Brady is the greatest ever, and he's going to prove it again on Sunday.
Mitchell Trubisky thinks he's the greatest ever. That's what players do.
He doesn't.
When you play at this.
Mitchell Trubisky does not think he's the greatest ever.
I tell you what, if you ask Joe Montana who he thinks, True Serum, ask Dan Marino, ask John Elway.
Okay, well, you went to the top. But Mitchell Trubisky doesn't think that.
No, I'm just saying, the top guys always see. Ask me who I think's the best tight end. Ask Kellen, ask Ozzie, ask Tony, ask Gates.
You know what? I do believe Aaron Rodgers thinks he's the greatest quarterback ever because he's got so many of these blind loyalists following him. He's LeBron James.
Don't do that, Skip.
He's got all these blind witnesses.
Nobody. We've never seen anybody with the tools.
Nobody. But how does it actually play out? How does it translate into wins and losses? It doesn't. It just doesn't.
It does. It does.
You guys came ready today. Keep me on my toes.
No mercy.
There is definitely no love lost between Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley. In the first half last night, Russ scored on Beverley, then pretended to rock a baby. Beverley returned the gesture later in the game. Then it got heated in the fourth quarter when Beverley dove for a ball near Westbrook's legs. Both players received technical fouls and had to be separated by teammates. And the police even needed to step in. The police. By the way, Russ scored 32 points. OKC did get the win. But let's take a listen to what they both had to say after the game.
There's obviously history between you and Patrick. What did you think about what happened tonight?
I have no comment on it. I just know that we won. Yeah, you got little kids. You got to get the little babies, put them to sleep. You got little kids on you. Okay. That's what happens. Little guards, you got to rock them.
I went for a loose ball. What you think happened?
What happened afterward?
I don't know. Somebody walked to our bench, doing all that capping stuff. I don't know what that is. He walked to our bench, doing this and all that. I don't know. Things went kind of haywire from there, of course. 2 competitors, no one's going to back down. No one did. You see 2 technicals. Continue playing.
He was booing you, and you said 7 years, let it go. Do you still think that people are holding on to what happened in the 13 playoffs?
What you think?
I'd say yes.
Okay, well, that's your answer to your question then, brother.
Whew, it sure did get heated. All right, Skip.
PB.
Rocking
Every
that
day.
baby.
That's what you do.
That's what I do to you every day.
Oh.
Whatever.
Wow. Whose side are you on here?
So, I know Patrick Beverley. I respect Patrick Beverley. But last night, I was on Russell Westbrook's side because what Patrick Beverley did last night was a dirty play and a cheap shot. He dived, not for the basketball, which was loose, he dived for Russ's knees, and I did not like it. But before I expand on that, let me go back to the 2013 incident that detonated all of this bad blood between these two. It was Game 2 of a first-round playoff series between the Houston Rockets and the Thunder at Thunder, and I defended that night Patrick Beverley because, again, if we could see the first play, we're seeing it right now, this is Russ he's trying to reach for the basketball to call timeout after he got it past half court. And Patrick, who's an overachiever who played in Russia and Greece and the G League and the Summer League until he finally got a shot with the Rockets. That was just a good, hard basketball play. The ball was a little bit dangerously teetering there, and he went for the basketball.
And we see that all the time.
See it all the time. And I had no problem with it. And as Russ pivoted to try to block him off, he turned on his knee, and it was just like a freak accident because his lateral meniscus, which is a cartilage, it tore, and it tore badly, and it took away the rest of his year, and they had a hard time getting him back.
Correct.
It took multiple surgeries to get it right.
Correct.
So it was a terrible thing, and the Oklahoma City fans are never going to forgive or forget on Patrick Beverley, and I do not blame them. So last night, the bad blood starts up again, and Russ scores easily on Patrick, and he does Rockabye Baby, and then Patrick scores on Russ, and he does Rockabye Baby. So it's getting worse and worse, and then the loose ball incident happens, and I was ashamed for Patrick Beverley because I think his emotions and his anger went over the edge as he's playing in enemy territory. It's in a war zone for him. They're still all over him. He kept turning to the fans saying, "Let it go, bro." It was 7 years ago. It was actually 5.5 years ago, but it feels like it was 7 to Patrick Beverley because every time he goes back there, they're all over him. And he boiled over, and he went for Russ's knees. And Russ was furious about it, and I don't know what he was yelling at the bench, but it was not pretty. And for the first time ever, I saw 4 policemen. I don't know if they're security police or real policemen. I think they're real policemen. They got on the court just to make sure there was not another brawl like broke out in the Lakers-Houston game.
You know, Skip, it's hard for me, and it's really hard for me to pick a side because I don't think either guy was out of line for the way they reacted. If you look at Patrick Beverley, you name the teams that he played for before he got to the NBA. Overseas for 3 different teams, in the G League, in the Summer League. See, the thing is with him, Skip, is that he has to live in this gray area. I don't believe he's ever went over the line, but he has to stay here because, as Russell said, he's a little guard.
He is.
He's not 6'8". He's not 7 foot tall. He's an undersized guard. So every single night, that's how he got to the NBA. He played hard for 82 games, diving on the floor, trying to get loose balls, taking charges, setting picks for other guys. That's the way, that's his area, Skip. You have to live in that box for him. See, I don't think he went for Russ because he wasn't even guarding Russ. He was on Paul George, and Russ tried to...
It didn't look like he made a play for the ball.
But here's the thing. He went to where the ball was. By the time he got there, Russ had already regathered the ball and had moved on. But he had already committed. It's kind of like a defender, Skip. I'm going for where you is, and all of a sudden, the guy flinches, and now we go head-to-head. You throw the flag. Russ goes back to 2013. Bruh, you caused me to miss half the season.
He did.
Could have cost me my career because I had to, as you mentioned, he had to have another surgery on that very knee. So it was a very similar play for Russ. They called timeout. Billy Donovan, Russ is upset, could see it could possibly be escalating. He said, well, let me go and call a timeout, get Russ over here. Russ said, nah, I'm going to stand right here. I ain't going nowhere. Well, you know Patrick Beverley's not going anywhere, Skip. What they call him? They call him the junkyard dog.
They do.
What they call him? Exactly. So he has to live in a world that a LeBron James, that a Kevin Durant, or Anthony Davis doesn't have to live in. And what we've seen from guys, no matter what the sport is, Skip, look at Jose Altuve, how hard he hustles. Because the Astros say, look, nah, you didn't make the team, and not only did you not make the team, don't come back. But he didn't listen to him. He came back. He hustles. He runs out every single play. So what we've seen from guys that struggle to make it, they have an extra chip on their shoulder. They know what it was like to not have and to not be in this league. So Patrick Beverley, as long as he's in this league, Skip, he's going to play like that. Because once he does it, because you know why? He doesn't have a shot like Steph Curry. He can't block shots like Anthony Davis. He can't score the ball like Kevin Durant. He has to live in this area. And people view that as him stepping over the line. But he must get on the floor and get every loose ball. He must set picks. So I don't think it was dirty, and I have no problem for Russ reacting the way he did because Russ, in his mind, this is 2013 all over again. But I thought he was going to where the ball was, and by the time he got there, Russ had already got the ball, and it was too late. He had already committed.
Remember, Russ recently had yet another surgery on the same knee.
Correct.
And he missed the first 2 games of this season.
So he's hypersensitive about that.
Hypersensitive. And last night was the first night that I saw him really be explosive, where it looked like he really had his legs and confidence underneath him. And all of a sudden, to me, Patrick went for his livelihood. he went into his knees, whether he was diving for where the ball was.
Yes.
I don't know. It just looked dirty to me. It looked cheap. It looked like he went through the gray area into the dirty area.
I think
Russ was not having it.
Oh, of course. Obviously, you know, your knees, especially in a sport like that, that's everything. And Russ is predicated on quickness and being able to bound up off the floor time and time again. So he doesn't want to have that knee gone back into after he just came off surgery and missed, like 6 weeks this past season, this past offseason.
Yeah.
But I don't think Patrick Beverley lives
He doesn't
over
live
the line.
there, no.
But he must live in the gray area. He got to stay skilled. How tall you think Patrick Beverley is? 6 foot tall?
He says 6'1". He's probably 6. I've stood next to him. He's 6 feet.
Okay, 6 foot.
Yeah.
So
and he's wiry, strong. He's got all that going,
yeah.
and he's in superior shape. He can run all night.
Well, if people think Patrick Beverley is a dirty player, Chris Paul is grimy.
I agree with that.
Because it's not even close.
I agree.
It's not even close.
No, I'm with you.
And Chris Paul was a top 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason, but because he's undersized and he feels that, you know, a lot of times, you know, young guys, smaller people have the Napoleonic complex that they feel people are going to take advantage of them because they're small. And so I'm going to let you know you're not finna run over me because I'm small in stature. So they're more apt to have that, you know, I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverley, because he doesn't have a unique skill set, his unique skill set is hustle, is desire, is determination.
Yep.
Chris Paul can assist the basketball.
He can.
Chris Paul can score. Patrick Beverley, that's not his game.
I'm not sure what his game is except that. Just to disrupt as a defensive
What did he do
demon.
last year, Skip?
Yep.
The first game they played, the Los Angeles Lakers and the LA Clippers. What did he do last year, Skip? He picked up Lonzo Ball from the time the ball was tipped by 94 feet.
Took him completely out of the game.
And after the game, he looked at it. You caused this.
LeVar.
You caused this.
Yep, that's for you.
You brought this on your son. So that's his mentality. That's his mindset. And Russ is like, and what did Russ say? Little guard, got rock him to sleep. So Russ is looking at it like, bro, you. And we've seen guys that Kevin Durant get a mismatch, and he turns around and shoots over him. What did he yell? You too small. Or you can't see me. He can't. Jimmy Butler, notorious. He can't see me. That's not what he said. He said that. He can't see me. The trash talking going back and forth.
So to Doc Rivers' credit, he did not pull Patrick out of the game. He let him play. And to Patrick's credit, he played fair and square the rest of the way. And to Russ's credit, they just kept on playing and they finished the basketball game.
The thing is, Skip, this is old school basketball where in the 80s, maybe early 90s, guys sincerely didn't like each other. You didn't see all the chummy stuff. But there's a new age now with these traveling basketball teams, and guys know each other. Guys grow up now playing each other since the age of 9 years old. A lot of these guys go to the same school. And if they don't go to the same school, they're coming in the NBA relatively the same time after having played against each other and played with each other. So they don't view each other as adversarial, say like Bird and the Magic, or like Jordan in the Pistons. Jordan hated everybody on the Pistons.
Yeah. So I was listening to and watching the legendary Clippers announcer Ralph Lawler last night, and he was shook up because the police were on the floor, and Ralph's been doing it for God knows how many years, and he'd never seen that before. I'd never seen that. I don't know if it's a new directive from the league office, like we will have the police out just to show a force, like no punches will be thrown. We got police. I don't know. I thought of your game last night. Can you imagine police coming on the field if there's a fracas in an NFL game?
No.
No?
They don't want that kind of problem.
I don't think it'd end well.
I mean, and the thing is that it used to be like that. You remember in the 80s, Skip, in the 70s, guys fought on the field. Guys did, but
No, they fought.
they cleaned that up because guys don't want to miss them paychecks. I'm good.
Last one I saw was Dion and Andre Rison on, was it Monday night?
No, it was Sunday.
Was it
It
Sunday?
was Sunday game,
And they just threw down. I think it was kind of for show, but it was fun to watch.
Well, hey, Time said, it's my house. I built this house. Andre Rison said, look, you might have dead, but hey, I live here. I'm a tenant now, and you going to show me respect. You can't just come in. It's like, it's disrespectful. I'm renting a place. The landlord just take the key and open that door and come on in. I wish you might come in my house like that. I pay rent here. Don't come in here. You're going to get exactly what you're looking for.
I would not be bugging you. No, I'd stay away. All right, we talked about Amari Cooper off the top of the show, how good he may be in Dallas. But is all the pressure now on Dak? Maybe. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
All right, Jerry Jones said yesterday that his Cowboys are, quote, more urgent because we dug a hole here. The hole is a 3-4 record, but the answer could be trading first-round pick for Amari Cooper last week. Cowboys offense is ranked 28th in the league right now, but Jones said the addition of Cooper will not affect how the team evaluates Dak Prescott. Let's take a listen.
I didn't really weigh that too much in the decision on Cooper. That will come just by the nature of playing the games and the key position that Dak holds for us. It is not the issue. The evaluation of Dak is not as to the future, is not the issue that some would have it be.
All right, Shannon, do you agree with Jerry?
No, I do not. Jerry said even a couple of weeks ago that the Cowboys haven't had a number one receiver in a number of years. Jerry is panicking because Dak hasn't played well, and he's not to the point now that he can overcome lack of playmakers outside. And so once he realized that, he's like, we need to do something. Because did you not need a receiver? Calvin Ridley went in the first round. DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton. You could have had an opportunity, but you took the tackling Dutchman.
Who's actually been pretty good.
Yeah.
Way better than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
So you needed a receiver. So now you didn't need a receiver during the draft. You didn't need a receiver. But now all of a sudden, you need Amari Cooper. There's going to come a time, Skip, you remember the housing market. They used to have what they call, all you had to do is play the interest. But at the end of 3 to 5 years, there was going to be a balloon payment. Well, okay, Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, he's been playing interest only. But that balloon payment is about to come due. And you know what a quarterback's going for. The going rate is what, Skip Bayless? Jimmy Garoppolo got $27 million. Dak Prescott said, well, wait a minute. I got a larger body of work than Jimmy Garoppolo. I want more than $27 per year.
He'll get it. He's earned it.
Jerry Jones says, well, I need to evaluate this. Because they say, well, you don't have playmakers. I'm going to give you a playmaker and see if the play increases. Your play, Dak Prescott, because, Skip, it's going to cost $30 million. And you're right. He's probably going to get it. But Jerry Jones wants to make sure. Jerry's worth $5 billion. Say Jerry's worth $6 billion because the team's worth $5 billion. Say Jerry's worth $6 billion. $6 billion to a guy that's got to have to pay somebody $100 million guaranteed. That's nothing. But one thing I know about people that got money, Jenny, they don't like just throwing their money away. They're going to do their research, don't they, Skip? They do their reconnaissance. They do their research. They make sure it's money well spent. So he wants to make sure Dak Prescott doesn't have any excuses. He's giving him Amari Cooper. So now we're going to see. But I do believe this is an evaluation process because you could have taken Ridley, you could have taken Sutton, you could have taken DJ Moore. You didn't. But now you have Amari Cooper, who you believe, and many like you believe he's the number one. So we're about to find out just how good your guy can be.
By the way, the tackling Dutchman has contributed to the number 2 scoring defense in all of pro football. That's pretty great.
You just imagine if Aaron Rodgers had the number 2 scoring defense, how good they would be. You got the number 2 scoring defense and you're 3 and 4. Let that sink in for just a second.
I'll get to that.
Get to it.
You know, Jenny, I don't understand this
Talk
question.
to me.
No,
Which part?
I'm telling Jenny.
No, I want you to talk
I've
to Jenny.
talked to you enough.
I asked the
and
questions.
you just can't get this through your skull.
Okay. What's up?
I don't understand this consistent narrative that is driven by that man across the table, I think mostly on Twitter, on social media. And people are actually buying into it who hate the Dallas Cowboys, and there are billions of people.
No.
There might be 6 billion out there who...
Only 10 people dislike the Cowboys.
Only 10 people? Well, you're the leader of the pack, whoever that pack is.
Captain.
And somehow Dak Prescott has gone from playing the greatest rookie season any rookie quarterback ever played at that position. You can't find a better one than his numbers and production and quality and record and the playoffs. He played a playoff game at the end of that year in which he threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against Aaron Rodgers and had it 31 all, and it took 2 interplanetary field goals by Mason Crossbar to beat him in that game.
And he had a huge tab at my restaurant.
But the point is, off that year, then he follows it up last year with early on 3 huge games, just monster games against the Rams, who were really good last year, and then against Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay Packers, and then against Kansas City, which was riding high when it came to Jerry World, and that was, I know it was Alex Smith, but they were riding high. And go look at Dak's numbers in those 3 games. And then, of course, they did lose Ezekiel Elliott for 6. They lost Sean Lee for 6. But the point was, if I just combine Dak's QBRs, and I know you hate QBR, but I just say it really tells the tale of how a quarterback performed in a game, because it takes into account legs as well as arm, as well as playmaking. What time of the game, what was the circumstance under which you made that throw or that run to win that game? And if I just add up the QBRs of Dak's first 2 years in the league, Tom Brady is number 1 at 76. Dak Prescott is, in his first 2 years, number 2 at 75. Aaron Rodgers is 3 at 69. Drew Brees, 4th at 65. Your man, what's his name? Wentz, W-I-N-C-E. Wentz in Philadelphia is down at 63. So 75 for Dak, 63 for Carson Wentz, which is still pretty good, but it ain't Dak Prescott.
If you mind me asking.
Okay, but the point is, the narrative continues to be Dak's somehow on the hot seat, like he's teetering on a bust.
No.
And I'm just flabbergasted by it, because I don't even get the question. Is there pressure on Dak? Yeah, the same as there was before the year started.
Okay.
I think this team is going to win the NFC East, and I still believe that, and I thought it back in August, so the pressure remains on Dak Prescott because he's playing the premier position quarterback.
If you don't mind me asking, why does every time you turn around, you said, okay, Dak's the guy, Dak's this, but you mentioned Zeke missed 6 games. Sean Lee got hurt.
Okay,
what
but
does that
in
have to do
spite
with
of all that, he went 9-7 last year and had the 4th best QBR. That's a pretty good year.
If he's the guy that you said he is, he got to get him to the playoffs.
Okay, but he didn't.
Okay.
And he came close.
No.
Okay.
Jenny, you went to the 8th grade dance.
Did you see how bad their defense was last year? The second half against Aaron Rodgers.
Now the defense
second
is
half
bad.
against the Rams,
Aaron Rodgers.
it was disastrous.
Hold on.
Disastrous.
So why is
Did you see what happened in Atlanta?
Okay. I saw all of that.
Did you see
Watch
the
the game.
protection? No Ty Smith in that game? 8 sacks?
Watch all the games. Yeah. But this is what I don't understand. Tom Brady can have a bad defense. And did you see Bill Belichick? He's lost his fastball. Aaron Rodgers can have a bad. Hold on, just a
Dak
second.
Prescott's not Tom Brady. He's not.
Whoa.
I never said he was.
Whoa, hold on, Skip. Let me make my point. Then I'll let you refute it if you can, which you can't. Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm laughing at it.
Aaron Rodgers can have a bad defense, but if he's that good, he should overcome it. Dak Prescott, bad defense. Oh man, you see Dak? If he had a defense, he has the number 2 scoring defense.
Now he does. Didn't last year.
Okay, so what is his record?
What happened last year? They were ahead of the Rams at halftime, and the defense just cratered in the second half. They were ahead of Aaron Rodgers at halftime, and the defense just fell apart.
If you don't mind me asking, did Dak Prescott not get the ball in the second half?
Got the ball.
So why didn't he do something with it?
He did. But
What
it
did he
wasn't
do?
Enough. He couldn't outscore Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness, Skip Bayless.
Jared Goff. He couldn't.
So in other words, he had another reservation at my restaurant. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, he had a really good year last year.
Did they make the playoffs?
You know what? This year, I saw this game against Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville's cratered itself, but in the first half against Jacksonville, when Jacksonville was riding high, Dak Prescott led 4 long scoring drives, and it was 24-0 at halftime.
Jacksonville was riding high after they had just gotten crushed by Kansas City. They were riding high.
They were riding high. They were still the number 1 defense. They came into the game ranked number 1 in defense, and Dak did that. And Dak was back.
Okay, what happened when he went to Houston?
Played his butt off.
He played his butt off.
Yeah.
He played his butt off.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, Skip Bayless.
Well, it went to overtime, and finally, a quarterback that I love even more than I love Dak.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I
love Deshaun
You don't
Watson.
love nobody. First of all, you don't love nobody or nothing more than the Cowboys.
I love Deshaun Watson.
I know you love him, but not like you love Dakota Prescott. Oh, I loved it.
I don't call him Dakota.
You call him Dak.
I think you closet love him more than I do.
Oh, no.
You met him on the plane, and now you're in awe of him.
Oh, walking to him. I met on walking to him, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know you met him.
I met on walking to him.
When?
Don't worry about all
I
that,
don't
because he
think
told
you
me
did.
not to tell you anything.
That's true.
Because I don't want, because see, Skip, I don't want people thinking that, I just like these guys. I'm not like that, Skip.
So this year, Dak Prescott has been up against an offensive line that is a shocking shambles right now. And they went out and hired the single best offensive line coach I have ever been around, Hudson Houck. And during the bye week, he's going to take it over as kind of the advisor and co-offensive line coach with Mark Colombo. And I think you'll start seeing better things come from the offensive line. And the great Shannon Sharpe, the Pro Football Hall of Famer that he is, he kept telling me through the first 8 games of the season that Dallas didn't have a single receiver who could separate. They're a collection of number 3s with no tight end. God forbid that they had anything close to a Shannon Sharpe. Am I right? Am I characterizing your characterization
That's
right?
what you told me about Tom Brady. You say he didn't have anything.
He's the greatest ever. This is a kid in his 3rd year trying to overcome protection, run game, and no receiver can get open. Guess what? They're teetering at 3 and 4, but they're still hanging right in this division.
If you don't, guess who's been sacked more than or equal to the amount of times that Dak Prescott? Deshaun Watson. You like him? Aaron Rodgers. You like him? Drew Brees. You like him? Big. You like him? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but Dak won't go down. He just has 3 people hanging on him, and he's the next Big Ben Roethlisberger because you can't get him on the ground.
Big Ben in his 2nd year had a Super Bowl.
Well, he had a defense.
Well, see, it's always something.
Well,
at some point in time, number 4 is gonna have to take some culpability. You can't keep pushing the blame elsewhere.
I'm giving him a lot of credit.
Guess what? You know what? You know what type he is, Jenny? He's the type of guy that'll sweep all the stuff up under the rug. And then when there's a bump up in the rug, and you lift the rug and see all that dirt up under, you're like, well, how did I get this? I don't know. At some point in time, Skip Bayless. That dirt that we see, that's Dak Prescott, that you keep sweeping and blaming the offensive line. The defense isn't any good. No number 1. Zeke suspended. At some point in time, you're going to have to come to the realization.
My floor is clean, and under my rug is clean.
No, it ain't, because you done swept it.
Clean as a whistle.
That's what you swept up on the rug? Offensive line.
Yeah, well, they deserve to be
Don't do
swept
that, Skip. Don't do that.
You know what? I loved what Jerry said about Dak because I told you after the Washington game, Dak was a warrior in that game. And I know he made one unforgivable mistake you cannot make on the road. He fumbled at the goal line and just gave him 7 points. Can't do it. I was first to declare that. But as Jerry said, the way he competed at that position in that game, we can win a lot of football games.
I'm trying to win, Jenny.
We can win a lot of football games.
But you haven't.
Competes.
You haven't.
He competes.
You
He's a
haven't.
warrior.
I know you can.
Hey, it's just starting. It's just starting. Neither is Walk It To Him.
Walk It To Him. Yeah. What's his record?
4 and 4.
Okay, what's your record?
3 and 4, but we get to play Monday night. We're on a
Could
bye.
change.
We got a bye.
Feels
We'll
like the
catch up.
longest bye, right? Feels like it's been a long
It feels like
bye.
they haven't played for like 3 weeks.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
We got to get them back
That's the
in
only
action.
chance y'all have of not losing.
Yeah.
Not playing. Either you play, you're taking the L.
Want to put a case of due on next Monday night?
Might.
Would you?
I just might.
Thank you. Done. Appreciate
Done
that.
deal?
I ain't said it yet.
All right, Monday.
Maybe.
Done.
Who's ready for it? So the Lakers, they're back in action tonight, but who should play for them? Lonzo, Rondo, Kuzma, Lance. Decision making, we'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
The Lakers season has not gotten off to a good start. They've lost 2 straight, but they'll be back at home to face the Mavs tonight. One problem might be the inconsistent rotation. And in the last 2 games, Lonzo has started, but Rajon Rondo has played more minutes. Right now, the Lakers have 9 players averaging at least 20 minutes per game. That's including Kuzma, Josh Hart, Lance, and KCP. So, Shannon, which players should close the game with LeBron?
I'm going to go LeBron, Lance Stevenson, Ingram, Lonzo, Hart, Kuzma based on the matchup. I believe that's the way to go, Skip, because those guys with this lineup, you can switch absolutely every single position, everything. 1 through 5, you can switch it. Now that means LeBron or Ingram was probably going to have to play the 5 if Hart's on the court. Now if Kuzma's on the court, they're probably going to force Kuzma to play. Now if it's the last 2 minutes, LeBron obviously, like he did against Denver, he's going to take Jokic, or if they're playing Portland, he's going to take Nurkic.
Yeah.
He's going to take the bigger of the guys if it's the last 2 minutes. But say 5 minutes, that's the lineup I would go with, Skip. It's time to, look, you say this is not a one-year thing. This is something long-term for LeBron. Well, LeBron needs to see, you need to see what you have in these young guys, and when the rubber needs to meet the road, what do I have?
Yep.
And you can't find that out with Lonzo sitting on the bench and Rondo playing. You can't find that out with this other line, with with KCP on the floor and these other guys on the bench. It's time to see if these guys can handle the fire because you're going to have to make a decision. I understand a lot of people think LeBron came here, he wanted to be in LA, he got 2 homes, the weather, blah, blah, blah. LeBron James is about winning basketball games. And at the end of the day, all that might be true. He might like the weather. As a matter of fact, I know he loves the weather. But at the bottom line, LeBron James is a basketball player. And as a basketball player, his job is to win games. Not only win games, compete for a title. He needs to see what these guys are capable of doing when they're forced into a fire. And the last couple of minutes of a ball game is when these guys. So we need to find out, Skip. We need to find out if Lonzo gonna be the guy. You're not going the next 5-6 years with Rondo. You need to find out what you got with Lonzo. So put him in there.
Okay.
It's time to see.
Okay, so that's the lineup that would max your chances to win that basketball game, to close with that lineup, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat this again. The great news, not the good news, but the great news for these Lakers is they could have won all 5 of the games they lost. All 5. So not once have they been out of a game, except I thought they were out of the Denver home game with 6:55 left. They fall down 8 points. And who stole that game back for him? Lance did. He scores 8 straight points with LeBron on the bench. Well, they didn't deserve to win that one, except for Lance, but they had real shots at winning the 5 games, all 5 of them. So, obviously, I want LeBron on the floor, but I need a little more from him because I keep saying, like, the emperor has no clothes, as in C-L-O-S-E, because the emperor hadn't been closing so far. And I don't know, there's chemistry issues like who do I trust, who do I vibe off of, who do I play off of.
Well, I don't want him dominating the game. Because, Skip, there's no use, because these guys are never going to grow up if he doesn't trust them enough to pass them the ball and to let them make plays for themselves also.
So I'm with you on Lonzo. I want him to close. I don't care if it's the last 4 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it is. I need him to take it home. Because I love the way he vibes with LeBron because they're the 2 highest basketball IQs on this team, maybe in the whole league. LeBron for sure. Lonzo's up there with a lot of basketball IQs. And I love the way they feel of each other and play off each other under pressure. In the end, Rondo's a solo act. I don't care what you say. He's going to make plays on his own, and LeBron can play off the ball. But I just don't love their connection on the court, even though I know LeBron thinks Rondo has a very high basketball IQ, but he does, but it's a solo. Lonzo is in awe of getting to play with LeBron, so he's going to keep connection with him, like both eye contact and just like a soulful contact. He just gets him and he honors him, right? I don't know that Rondo honors anybody but Rondo. He's just going to try to make the right basketball play.
Lonzo did admit he needs to stay more engaged
I got
when he's
that.
on the court.
But here's the thing about Lonzo that I've seen so far this year. He's made 2 big clutch threes, and I trust Lonzo Ball in the big moments even more than I do in the little moments. The little moments he needs to stay engaged in, but when the money's on the table, down the stretch when he's in the game, he's pretty locked in. And I'm going to say it again. He is the best on-ball defender of the bunch because he's so long and he's so skilled and savvy. He has good instincts, and he's going to disrupt. And again, I wanted to see him on Jimmy Butler down the stretch the other night. You said he was so hot because he was crazy hot. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but I still think if you get that long arm and hand up, maybe it bothers him a little more than Lil Rondo could have bothered him on the dagger shot, the three-point shot. So Lonzo needs to be in there for nothing else just because the future is now. It's now. And I don't know what LeBron's voting here. Behind the scenes, he's surely having some input with Magic and Pelinka and ultimately Luke about who does LeBron want on the floor. But I want Kyle Kuzma on the floor for the whole 4th quarter because he's just fearless, man. He takes and makes big shots. And LeBron got it to him late in the clock the other night, but he wasn't afraid to go up. He just didn't have a shot, and all of a sudden Taj Gibson's all over him and blocked the shot. But I want him on the floor. And then I'm with you on Lance. He played 0 at Minnesota in the 4th quarter. That can't happen. He's their lightning rod. He's their microwave. He just comes in. It's just like instant offense, and it can be instant defense. And I know he overplays and gambles, and he goes for steals. He disrupts like crazy on both offense and defense. Well, you want to talk about fearless. Now, he'll make fearless mistakes, but I still want him in there because good things will keep happening with him on the court. Does LeBron love playing with him?
I think he does.
I don't know, but I just these guys are the guts guys. And then in the end, JaVale's just shocking me with his rim protection and his shot bothering.
Right.
Not just blocking, but shot bothering. So I want JaVale because JaVale runs the court like a demon, man. He gets out and sprints.
But a lot of times, Skip, they go to these small lineups.
Okay, but
And
I
so
still
that
want him
makes
in there. I just still want him in there. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Even if they got a 6'9" guy?
You know, it just doesn't bother me because he's still so active. And again, so I'm leaving off Josh Hart, who I have a lot of respect for, Brandon Ingram, who's a big talent, but I just don't know. If you force me to choose between Kuzma and Brandon Ingram to close, I want Kuzma out there shooting threes.
You got to find out, Skip. I got no problem, but you got to find out if B.I. is going to be there. You got to find out if Kuzma is going to be there. I love Josh Hart, Skip. He plays hard. He'll take big shots. He's fearless also.
Well,
out of that Villanova, you know how strappy those guys are.
They are.
So, but the thing is, Skip, it made it easy for Coach Walton because everything was crystallized. There was no Rondo. There was no B.I. So he could trot out a lineup, and it's like, okay, go play, guys. But what happens when these guys come back? And you got to be careful. You know, you're stepping on feelings. You're stepping on guys. You look down the bench and want to look at somebody, and they got their lips stuck out. And like my grandfather said, I come in my house and I got to step on lips. I ain't going to have it. So Coach Walton, this is what I'm telling you, hey, Luke, that was Bron called him Coach Walton. He said, Coach Walton, you going to step on a few lips here and there. But that's okay. This is who I want out there. Him, and him, and let's go play.
Coach LeBron.
And tell him. See, if I was Bron, I'd have whispered in Lance, said, "Hey, Lance, go tell Coach Walton I told him to put you in."
You would say that?
Yeah, if I was Bron. See, that's me. Now say, "Hey, Lance, go tell Luke." Bron said, "Put me in." Okay.
Do you realize you just completely undercut the man's authority?
Little
What?
bit.
Just a little bit.
Lance got a skip. The man. Look here. Did you see what Lance was doing in the first half? And he don't play a minute in the fourth quarter.
I told you that yesterday.
I mean, look.
I just sat back in awe of it.
No,
what are you doing?
I'm joking when I say LeBron should have told Lance, but Luke Walton should know. I mean, he has assistants. Okay, man, Lance gave us 12 points in the first half.
What?
Lance was balling in the third quarter.
When is Lance not balled?
Yeah, and
the first
and
7
you're not
games?
gonna let him play a minute in the fourth quarter? I get it. And
you know he's been playing Jonathan Williams, who sort of came from nowhere.
But see, that's the only big they got.
Okay. All right, but Jonathan Williams had that one flash in overtime against the Spurs, remember, at Staples?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, Luke just fell in love with him. I don't know, Magic fell in love with him? I have no idea, but I've seen enough. He's fine, but he's not these guys.
No. But that's the problem when you only have really one true big, which is JaVale. Okay, JaVale's going to get tired. JaVale's going to get in foul trouble. So who do you go to at the 5? You can't play Kuzma for extended minutes at the 5. You can't play B.I. Man, B.I. need to get on that chicken diet. And he need to be eating whole chickens at a time, Skip. I mean.
Whole chicken.
Yeah. Man, it was raining the other day. He was standing on the clothesline. Not a drop of water on him, Skip.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, he did. I mean, come on now, Skip. I mean, he's 3 years deep now. I mean, this time. I mean, Kevin Durant wasn't that. Was Kevin Durant that skinny? I don't know if KD was that skinny, Skip.
Kevin was always skinny strong, though.
But I mean,
he couldn't. Remember, he couldn't bench press like a single rep.
He couldn't do a rep.
Okay.
But he said the ball don't weigh 135. I could put that in the hoop.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon Ingram had on footies that were tights. He put the footies on, came all the way up his leg. That's how skinny his leg is, Skip.
Well, I agree
Not a
with
good
that.
sign.
No.
How about their schedule, though? So they host the
We'll
Mavs.
win tonight by 10.
Easy.
Portland
by 10.
Saturday.
By 10?
And then Sunday,
Yikes.
Toronto.
Yeah,
How you
here
feeling
we
about
go.
that one?
Oh, yeah.
No. Kawhi's
Sunday.
he's got a bad.
Oh, wow.
I think he's resting for Sunday.
Did you see what
you
Claude
know?
did to Ben Simmons? Did you see what he did?
Yeah, he'll be off next game.
Okay.
10 turnovers.
Also Sunday, there's so much to look forward to. Rodgers and Brady. Are the Packers going to pull the upset in Foxborough? We'll get Rob Parker's take next.
No mercy.
All right. The Patriots are a 5.5-point favorite at home against the Packers in a big matchup Sunday night. Tom Brady and the Patriots are on a 5-game winning streak, while Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are 3-1 after a tough loss to the Rams last week. Rob Parker is making his appearance on Undisputed. Happy Halloween.
Happy
Thanks for
Halloween,
being here.
everybody. What's happening?
How are you?
How you doing?
Look,
Skip, you're looking a little
find out.
ghoulish over there.
Yeah, I am.
To
This
find
man's
out.
scared of me.
Cowboys.
Is that it? Yeah. That's a Halloween right there.
Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Cowboys right now.
Okay.
We're talking about this matchup. Rob, what does the point spread tell you in this one?
that they're not so sure about the Patriots in their 5-game winning streak. That there's that Aaron, yes, five and a half. Considering they've won 5 in a row, and it's the against the Packers, I think they would think that the Patriots would roll over, especially because other than Aaron Rodgers, what are they really boasting? What do they have? But that's the respect for Aaron Rodgers.
It's not your turn yet. It's
Okay.
Rob's turn. Stop being a Rob
I
then.
gotta ask the guests,
Fumbling
polite.
and stumbling here.
No. I'm just. But this is out of respect to Aaron Rodgers. We saw him come to we saw him come to Los Angeles. That was a game that most people thought. What was the spread in that? 9.5. The highest.
You got bet down. So
But it was the highest.
7.5.
Yeah.
But it was 9.5.
Right.
So they were basically saying they had no shot at winning that game. And instead of Ty Montgomery doesn't commit the blunder, Aaron Rodgers could have won that game and pulled that game out.
That was not a blunder.
It was.
It was a blunder because they knew that that's what they were supposed to do. He knew, and he went
not
against
know.
what the plan was.
He did. There was
You
no
always
plan,
want to
there was
give
no order.
Skip,
You gotta
can I
get your
go?
facts straight.
Skip.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I go?
Yep.
You see what you got to deal with this all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
You get
Keep
your
trying,
chance.
keep trying.
All right. But I think the Packers easily could have 5 wins this season. You could go through their schedule and take a look. That Lions game where the kicker missed 4 field goals and an extra point. Then it was the tie against the Vikings. They should have won that game. They got that game stolen
I'll give
from
you
them.
that one. Yeah,
And
they
then
got
I'd say
robbed.
they could have beaten the Rams. There's 3 more wins right there, 5 or 6 easily. This team is not as bad as the record looks, and I think that's why they're giving Aaron Rodgers and the Packers a little bit of a chance. I think they're going to upset New England.
You're doing it again.
I really do.
You got away with it at Detroit.
No, but this one I really feels like
Foxborough.
I understand, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it's not a 7 or 8 point advantage for the Patriots because they really believe that the Pack can come in there and maybe shake it up. They almost did it against the Rams.
Yeah.
And their defense isn't as bad as it looks. You know, you keep thinking Packers defense. It's 12th in total defense in the league, which for them is really good because they really haven't been that over the last few years.
I'm looking at it, Vegas is saying the Patriots have a better team than the Green Bay Packers. The Rams line, maybe 9.5 to open up was a little high. Okay, we're going to say it's a little high. But also, this is what Vegas does. Tom Brady, as a starter, at home in the regular season, 111-18. Let that sink in. Tom Brady, on average, loses 1 game per year at home. He's already lost it. Right, Skip? So the likelihood of him losing another is not very good because, see, the thing is with Vegas, they have all these things. They go through everything. They look at how well you play at home. They look at the time of year. They look at who's injured. They look at your team. They look at the team that's coming in. And when you look at it from top to bottom, the New England Patriots, I believe, have a better team. So 6.5 is not 5.5 now.
Yeah, 5.5.
So it's not outlandish. Aaron Rodgers, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. Anybody else, I mean, just last week they were 14-point favorite against Buffalo. The Patriots, how many times have they been underdogs at home? Underdogs at home. That doesn't happen. So they normally always open up at least 3 at home. I think there were 3, Skip, against Kansas City. Were they 3 against Kansas City at home?
Yep.
So with that being said, I'm not surprised that they're 5.5-point favorite because I believe from top to bottom, special teams, offense, defense, the Patriots have the better team. So I'm not surprised. Do I expect a closer game than 5.5? I do.
Better team. I'm trying to get this through my thick skull over here because I can't see better team because I see Aaron Rodgers with a better receiving core than Tom Brady has because Tom Brady does not have a Devontae Adams. He's big time. He's close to top 5, top 7 maybe somewhere. He's having a big time year. He's just hard to deal with. And I got to tell you, right now, Jimmy Graham is playing at a higher level than Rob Gronkowski in large part because of what you brought up yesterday. Gronk's just broken down. He's got a bad back. He can't bend. He can't go up or down for balls. It's got to hit him right in here or he's not going to be able to catch it. And I look at the rest of, like Randall Cobb, Geronimo, they're really good. There's a whole class. Those 2 kids who play for them, they're both starting to make plays at the receiver spot.
Yeah, but the defense.
Okay, their defense, to Rob's point, is 12th in yards allowed. Well, that's pretty good. The Patriots are 25th in yards allowed.
What about points allowed?
Okay, but think about what's been happening even this year. But can we start with the Super Bowl when they gave up 538, this defense did, to Nick Foles? Really? You call him a genius. That's genius. How about 480 yards they allowed to Blake Bortles at Jacksonville? How about 414 when you correctly predicted that the Lions would upset the Patriots? That's Matt Stafford had 414 yards of total offense. How about the kid Mahomes? 446 yards of total offense, 31 points in the second half at Foxborough. And Tom Brady had to overcome that 43-40 by throwing for 182 in the fourth quarter. And then how about at Chicago? This genius defense gave up 453 yards to Trubisky and come. 453?
How many points?
But my point is, yeah, you could say they bend but don't break, but they break a lot because they gave up 31 points to Mahomes in the second half at Foxborough.
But
so can Aaron Rodgers score points?
But they kept him out of the end zone in the first half, which gave them that cushion in the second half.
Oh, because he made a mistake and threw it to them in the end zone.
Was that the defense on the field, or did Tom Brady get that pick?
So, who has the better run game? Because right now, Tom Brady has to resort to having his kick returner be his primary running back. Cordero Patterson, who goes like, what is he, 6'3", 220? He's the primary battering ram back right now, and they're trying to figure out how to mix and match with him and James White, who's about half your size. Yeah.
Well, so, we know James is not the runner. He's the receiving threat.
Okay, so Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, they're pretty good. That's why Ty Montgomery was expendable, because he's fallen completely out of the rotation.
Why?
Yep, that's why.
Let me ask you a question. Had he not did that blunder on Sunday, would they have traded Ty Montgomery? Yes or no, Skip?
Boy, the Ravens stole him.
No, they gave him away. They gave him away for 12 used jock straps and 6 Gatorade that had already been drank out of.
He's a good player.
That's what they gave him away for, Jenny.
He had a lot of plays for this team.
He was. He's a playmaker.
Skip, a 7th rounder in the 2020 draft. Let that sink in. That's what they gave him away for. A 7th rounder.
I just said they stole him.
But they did that. They do that when you do something bad. Bostek, the tight end, you remember who?
You're from Seattle.
They got rid of him. Remember that right away. That's what they do.
Yeah, because Ty Montgomery. Guess what Ty Montgomery could have done? Rob? He said he didn't want to know. He didn't want to take out an official's hand. Just let the ball hit the dirt in the end zone. Because once you do that, guess what? It's dead. It's dead. That's all he had to do.
Unless it hits on its nose and bounces backwards. Has it ever happened? Yep, it's happened.
It can do whatever it wants to.
That's a weird ball. That's a weird football.
You know that he blew it. He blew
caught
that
the ball
game.
at the goal line running forward.
You got to get the football in the hands of Aaron Rodgers with 2 minutes to go and a chance
to
win the game.
Automatic that he's going to go.
Automatic. Yes.
A-U-T, like Prince said, A-U-T-O-matic.
Well, right. There's only one A-U-T-O-matic.
Don't do that. That's
the real
error.
number 12.
You're the same guy who argued when Belichick. Do you remember they had that overtime game when they opted to give the ball to the Jets instead of Tom Brady?
Why?
You remember that?
Why? Exactly what happened?
But that's the point, that you got to get the ball to your guy.
I know, but
he has
Tom
to
Brady
get the ball.
in another league from
No, stop it, Skip.
Please.
Stop.
Start it.
No.
So, you know what Vegas is saying? It's more afraid of Tom Brady than it is of Aaron
No,
Rodgers.
it's not.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what
because
5.5
Aaron
says.
Rodgers clearly, I just detailed for you why he has the better team, but the better quarterback is on the other
Skip,
side.
if you don't mind me asking, when's the last time Tom Brady's team has been an underdog?
I don't know. It's because of him. It's a tribute to him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
He's the GOAT. He's the all-time.
Coach Belichick is the GOAT.
Oh, he's the GOAT.
Coach Belichick is the GOAT
of the Super Bowl because he was the reason they lost it.
How can you be GOAT when Eli beat you twice?
Yeah. Eli.
Oh,
Because
Lick 'em like.
the GOAT,
Think about that.
the capital G-O-A-T, took the New England Patriots right down the field, 75 yards, and with 2 minutes left, he hit Randy Moss with another clutch touchdown
And what
pass.
did Eli do?
And Eli pulled off the luckiest pass in the history of the Super Bowl. It was the luckiest escape. I don't know how he escaped.
You tell me the GOAT can only get 14 points?
Yep.
If that all the GOAT can get, the GOAT is only good for 14
If
points.
you remember, who was the Plaxico
Burress
Burress predicted the score, and you know what Tom Brady
Brady
said?
laughed.
He said, "We're only getting 14 points. We're only going to score 4." That's exactly what he said.
They only had the greatest offense in the history of football.
But what happened?
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for making my point. They had the greatest offense in history,
And they got-
led by the GOAT, and you couldn't
they
get them a
did.
14.
Tom Brady did what he always does. He put them in position to
Lose? The Eli. That's what he did. He put him in position to lose to Eli.
Guess who gave up the play? Belichick's defense.
Don't do that,
Once
Skip.
again. Well, he did. What are you doing?
All I'm saying is, if I give up 17 points as the D coordinator, I'm supposed to win.
You win a Super Bowl with
Remember,
17
With
points.
2 minutes left, should 14-10 have stood up? If you're Bill Belichick,
No.
sure should have.
Hold on. But you didn't say that with the greatest
Hold
show on
on.
turf.
He's the
The
dynasty.
greatest show on turf when he held him to 17 points.
That was ancient history.
Oh, now it's ancient history. You know what, Skip? You ought to stop.
So,
is a
you
trip
guys are
today.
you're losing sight of the fact that Brady's having an off year and he's 9th in QBR. Aaron Rodgers is 21st in QBR.
And how, Rob,
Guess what? He's completing a grand total of 61% of his passes to Brady's 68%. Vegas is saying, we think we're going to go with Tom Brady here.
and guess,
5.5.
and he got six interceptions, so that completion percentage goes to the other team too.
Skip,
Aaron Rodgers is 13-1, Rob. 13-1, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. But what I mentioned, I said Tom Brady is 111 and 18 at home. Did you know 89 of those wins have come by 6 points or more? You don't think Vegas? If I know this, if me and my research on Steve Owens,
That's a tribute to Tom Brady.
Skip.
He's unbelievable because he's doing so much more with less.
Don't do that, Skip.
He is
hard to
less
deny.
than what Aaron Rodgers has.
I am convinced the upset is here. Just
Okay.
the way I picked the Lions game. I'm picking the Packers. Let's make a dinner on it.
Okay, you
Another
got it.
dinner?
You are going to the well once too often.
Here we go. One
'Cause
more.
This is number 12
This is
at Foxborough.
This is it.
Thank you.
I got it.
All right.
You got it, Rob.
Oh.
Good job, Rob.
I
Rob
got
it.
this one.
You want it?
Nope.
Feeling
I
confident
got
over
this
here.
one. I'm very confident. I told you that one with the Lions.
You did.
It's
You got
one
it
of
with Jacksonville,
those.
too.
Okay.
You got it with Jacksonville.
Enough Brady
That's right.
Rodgers for now. Let's see who wins that one. Rob, thank you for being here. So many big trades. Who is now the team to beat in the NFC East? We will discuss that
They wear green.
next.
They wear green.
Once in a lifetime.
No mercy.
So there were a bunch of big moves in the NFC East in the past week. The Eagles and Cowboys both added wide receivers, with Philly trading for Golden Tate and Dallas adding Amari Cooper. Yesterday, the Redskins made a big addition to their defense, trading for Packers safety Clinton Dix. All right, Shannon, did these moves change how you're viewing the division?
I do not. I still believe Philly because they have the best quarterback. They got Golden Tate. I believe they're going to win the division, but I felt that way before they got Golden Tate. I just love what Golden Tate brings to the table. And Genesis Skips, he loves to go back. Since the start of last year, Golden Tate is 9th in catches, 14th in yards. Amari Cooper is 69th in catches, 48th in yards.
Boy, Steve's been busy.
Jenny.
Way to go, Steve Owens.
He's one spot in front of Dez
Scrambling.
Bryant.
Scrambling.
He's one spot in
You're
front
okay,
of Dez Bryant.
Shannon.
That's
Dez
interesting about
Dez
that.
Bryant hadn't played a snap
You're
this year.
talking about a 2-time Pro Bowler who's 24 years
When was the last
of
time he
age.
was a Pro Bowler?
It's just 2 years ago.
Updated resume.
Watch.
So we go updated
Watch.
resume?
Yeah. Can you make the Pro Bowl off of 8 games? Maybe this year.
He had a chance last year. He had a chance last year.
Yeah.
Oh, they got rid of it for some reason. But stop. Will you please stop? I didn't ask you a question. You interrupted me. I wish you would stop.
No interruption.
Thank you. I believe Washington made the move with HaHa to put with Swearinger to combat Philly's tight end, Goddard and Zach Ertz. Because they believe that the race is going to come down between them and the Eagles. Because why else would you go get a backup, another safety for what Dallas got at tight ends? And the Giants, we're not even talking about them. So I believe it's a 2-team race. I believe it was Philly. I believe Washington. And so I've seen nothing that the other teams have done in this division to make me think they're going to win this division. I like the Eagles to continue. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, you're a fan now.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yep,
In
you're on
Washington.
that bandwagon.
In Washington.
Yep, you're green with envy of
And
what
Washington
I have.
will be number 2.
You envy what I have in Dallas.
What you
'cause
have?
I got a big-time superstar.
No, you don't.
Yep, I do. Amari Cooper has changed the balance of power in this division, so I still like Dallas, but I must admit, the ha-ha move did not have me saying ha-ha, because I'm not laughing at the Redskins anymore, because that was also a big-time move. They stole ha-ha Clinton Dix for a 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I thought he was playing at a high level.
Yeah.
I thought he was a cornerstone of the Green Bay defense that played its best game last week here at the Coliseum, right?
Pro Bowler.
Okay, so what are they doing? Are they giving up now in that division? I don't get it.
That goes to the greatness of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say he can combat everything. But Skip, let's stop. You need to stop with this Amari Cooper this, Amari Cooper that. Yes, he's young, but he hasn't shown you the consistency.
2 Pro Bowls in a row, that's consistency. That's enough.
Skip, how long ago?
2 out of 3 years, that works.
Skip. What year? So what year? That was 2015, 2016.
And he got caught in a toxic situation in Oakland and won it out. Thank you. I'll take him.
You have no choice. Yeah. Given what you have,
Eagles
he's considerably better than what you have.
So I'm going to make my point again. The team that scares me by far the most is Washington because Alex Smith is a more trustable quarterback than Kirk Cousins. He just is. You don't like
But Kirk Cousins is not there. We got to check. We ain't worried about Kirk Cousins.
I wish Kirk Cousins were there
but he's
because
not.
I'd have a better chance.
But what you going to do with walk it to him?
That's what you need to worry about. I'm talking about the Redskins, and I'm talking about an Adrian Peterson that I keep waiting to hit the wall, and he keeps running right through the wall.
Well, he ran through
week after week after week, he runs right through it.
But Philly said, we have 2 games with Washington, 2 games with you guys. So when we go sweep this, when we go 4-0, it's over.
So in toughness of remaining schedule, the Eagles rank 7th, the Redskins rank 19th, and Dallas is 21st. So the point is, these 2 teams have pretty easy closing schedules. But what's scary about the Redskins is it looks real easy to me because the only hard games for the Redskins are at Cowboys, at Eagles, and then Eagles to close the season. So I need your Eagles to beat them twice or they're going to run off with this division because I'm not seeing much else here.
Guess what? When teams look at their schedule and they see the Cowboys, they're like, we got a pretty easy schedule. Yeah, they're looking at the Cowboys saying, we got a pretty easy schedule.
You know, they got the easiest one.
Why you care about that?
You're in trouble. It's just starting right now.
This is what I don't understand.
I only fear the Redskins.
This is what I don't understand.
Yeah.
If you have that guy at quarterback, when you got that guy at quarterback, you fear nothing. I had number 7.
You talking about Alex Smith?
No, I'm talking about for the Cowboys. I remember when John Elway was my quarterback, I didn't care if we was going to Kansas City or Oakland. I didn't care if we was going to Philly. I didn't care if we was going to the House of Pain in Houston.
Yeah.
I got him. Why do you fear anybody if you got that guy?
Are you saying Carson Wentz is John Elway? I think you just said that.
I'm asking you, why do you
John Elway watching?
Skip, I just asked
John Elway just threw up.
I'm asking you, why do you fear so much if you have Dak Prescott as your quarterback?
Because Washington has a 2-game lead over Dallas. They're going to run away with it if you don't watch it because they could win their next 3 easily.
They ain't running nowhere.
Huh?
You could have prevented that.
You keep dismissing them because you don't like Alex Smith. All he does is win games in the regular season.
You could have prevented that. You had a golden opportunity to set them back one and pick yourself up.
And we got robbed by a referee who threw a flag on a snapper who didn't do anything out of the usual.
Jenny, if you notice,
am I right?
It's everybody's fault. Now it's the officials. Now you blame the officials.
Everybody said that.
That's a fine.
Tony Dungy said that on NBC.
You know what I want? You know what I want?
Yeah.
I want the NFL to start finding commentators and analysts for saying officiating. You should have to pay $100 for criticizing.
Not when I'm right.
You're not right.
I was right.
No,
everybody thought that except you because you hate. No, well, you know I was right about that.
Why would I hate on the Cowboys?
The snapper just gets a grip on the ball.
Why would I hate on the Cowboys?
Jonathan Allen jumps off sides, and they threw a flag on Dallas for a false start.
I want Cowboys to win because, see, if they win now, when they miss the playoffs later, it hurts even more. See, if they're already out of the playoffs, I got nothing to rag you about. I want your hopes to get high. I want you like.
You should root for Dallas so people would watch our show.
No, I can't root for Dallas. I can't root for that. No, I got more fans that don't like Dallas than
they only care about Dallas.
No, they don't.
Yeah. You got 3 people.
No, I don't know.
I'll bring my one in. You
Okay.
know, I'll root for them.
Thank you.
I want Amari to
I
be
appreciate
successful. I think it'll be more fun.
Yeah,
You know?
he's a great kid.
Yeah. Maybe he just needed a new start.
They
Bad
just said,
situation.
we out against the Cowboys. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
His 10 followers.
Out of the Cowboys.
7.
Sorry.
Stop. Why you count my followers?
Do you know who they are?
Some of them.
Where they live?
But I got huge engagement. That's what you need.
I don't even know what that means. They don't even know what
that means. They respond to me.
Okay. All right.
They don't just follow me just to follow. They want to know what Unc and Shay be talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got these like alter egos?
No.
No, never. All right, moving on. Up next, we have a special guest, boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard is here.
Oh, look at
that. Get his take on Floyd, Manny, Connor, so much more next.
That's some
Amazing.
That's some strange brew you got.
Perfect for Halloween.
Good.
No mercy.
Well, our next guest is a boxing legend. He won world titles in 5 different weight classes, an Olympic gold medal, and was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Sugar Ray Leonard, welcome to Undisputed. We're so lucky to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's so ironic, undisputed. That's what every fighter wants to
That is true. That's where we took it from.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
And by the way, you still look like you're in good enough shape to box. I don't know how you do it.
to participate. Yeah, you know, I still work out. I still I do weights, I do Pilates and whatever, but I incorporate boxing because the transformation of training camp is amazing, and you go from here to sharpen your mind and your body, but it's not bulky, but it's like, you know, it's.
Do you spar?
Hell no.
No time for that.
That's it. I don't worry about that, you know?
Okay.
All right. Well, let's start with Mayweather, because there are rumors that he could fight maybe Pacquiao again, maybe UFC. What do you make of these rumors?
I don't think they're necessarily rumors. I think it's on his mind, the fact that he feels he can still do it. I mean, myself included, we as fighters, we get to a point where is that we watch fights on television and we say, I can beat that guy. Because it's about ego, it's about who you were back in the day. You know?
9-figure payday doesn't hurt either, though, does it?
Oh, that's gives you a little incentive. And that's the case, you know. You can make $1 zillion fighting a guy who's never had boxing gloves on before.
Right.
Like the McGregor fight, you know? It's what it is. It's a spectacle. Only Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather could have pulled those things off. When Ali fought that guy, that wrestler, what was the guy's name? Yeah. Only Ali could have done that. Mayweather he's the only guy that could have done that, or pulled that off, I should say.
So at your greatest, were you better than Floyd?
Absolutely. And I'm not saying it because, you know, I'm not bragging, but then again, my mindset as a fighter, as a champion, would always tell me I could beat Mayweather, I could beat Tyson. That's what made me who I became.
Mayweather is a counterpuncher. So how would you, okay, you got to fight Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather. How do you fight him? Because against Tommy Hearns, you took the fight to him because he was standing on the outside and he was touching you.
Right.
Marvin Hagler, you stayed around in the last 10, 15 seconds of the fight, you steal the round. So how do you fight Floyd Mayweather?
There's no one way to fight Floyd Mayweather. He is that good. He's that talented. You walk in there with a plan, but to execute it takes time. In other words, you got to feel yourself. You got to feel him out, and see what he goes for. Body shots. I mean, Floyd, no one could penetrate his defense. I mean, he's one of the best guys out there. But I would say body shots. But then, you know, it's so hypothetical. I feel kind of awkward talking about, you know, it's...
Well, do you see a weakness in his game at all?
I don't see a weakness that anyone could penetrate. I don't see him being beaten by anyone. You know what I love about Floyd is the fact that he believed in himself so much. And that's a major part of being a world champion, like Muhammad Ali. He believed, he talked trash, but he backed it up. He may have been too defensive, but I don't think so. But he fought his fight with everybody.
You say you go into the ring with a plan. Was it your plan to fight Hearns the way you fought him? Was it your plan to fight Hagler the way you fought him? You say you go in there and, okay, obviously you watch tape, you know what you're good at, you know what he's good at, and you say, you know, you got to figure out what he's good. But watching the fight with Hearns, there's no way that I thought you would get into a slugfest with Tommy Hearns. He had dynamite, especially in that right. But you said, this is the only way I can beat him.
Tommy Hearns was, I have vivid memories of Tommy Hearns, and he was such a freak of nature. I mean, Tommy is tall.
The reach for the welterweight.
And like you said, power in both hands,
Yes.
right? And he was determined. But I kind of choreographed the fight.
Right.
I kind of break things down in a bit. But it all came down to heart.
Right.
Heart and perseverance. I mean, I think about these guys, the Haglers, the Hearns, the Durans, and sometimes I sweat. You know, just because I can relive those moments. Now, as I'm 62, but my mind still tells me I can beat anyone. And it's going to always be that way.
Okay, let me ask you this. You said Floyd's defense is impenetrable. Are you saying that in his prime, or are you saying that now? Because I don't think he's the same fighter now. Because I saw Conor McGregor get some shots on him that didn't. He never really been in a boxing match. That these guys, Errol Spence and some of these guys now, they touch Floyd like Conor touched him. He's going to sleep.
It's a different story, no question about it. You explained it very well, because McGregor, his punches were not. I mean, was not executed properly.
Right.
And although he hit
hammer fist.
on the hammer fist, but those Errol Spence. I mean, those guys, Errol Spence. I mean, those guys are so talented, so much more, and it's a whole different ball of youth and talent, natural talent.
Right.
Certain things you can't teach.
Right.
You can teach them jab, right hand, hook, but you can't teach them to what to do when you get knocked down.
Right.
Because that comes here, and it's intuitive.
Right.
It's intuitive to learn how to get up.
Right.
You know, when I first got knocked down, the first thing I want to do is get back up, and rushing to get back up, your equilibrium is thrown off, and you, as opposed to taking a second, taking a second to get up, compose yourself, look at the referee, and say, I'm okay.
So you fought in some of the greatest boxing spectacles ever, and I attended most of them. And they were great theater because you were great theater. And you did win those fights with your head and your heart, maybe more than the talent that was across from you. But now we've degenerated to, I was excited about Pacquiao and Mayweather finally fighting whenever it was. It seems like forever ago.
It was forever.
But now I'm not excited about them fighting as 40-somethings. I'm done with it because it seems like it passed both of them by. Would you watch it if they fight again?
For free.
Yeah, for free. You wouldn't
No,
pay
no.
for it.
No, the thing about it, I mean, 40-ish, I mean, it's kind of over. It's really over. I mean, I went into the ring. My last fight was against Hector Camacho. I was 40 years old. But I was a conditioned 40-year-old. But what happens when you get hit, after being out of the ring for so long, get hit, that hurts now as you get older, as we get older, because we don't understand the impact that it makes. I mean, it sounds like it be a little screwy, but the mind is everything. The mind and the heart. Because when I was younger, I fought with conviction.
Right.
As I got older, I was like, I hit you, but don't hit me back.
Right. Could you see the punches as well when you got in your 40s?
No.
Because that's what I tell people, like, even in missing training, when you have the off season, coming back, now all of a sudden I had to build up my what I call spidey senses to know where the hit was coming from. So now you take time off, you hadn't fought in 2-3 years. Now you have to all of a sudden, okay, where is this punch coming from?
I could feel the punch.
Okay.
I don't necessarily see the punch. I can feel it, and I could just move just away, just shy.
Right.
Just to make it go by.
Right.
And I tell you, it's amazing. It's more cerebral than people can imagine.
Right.
So does it make you sad at all that your sport has sort of degenerated into Conor versus Floyd and what's left of Manny versus Floyd?
I'm not necessarily proud of that, or happy with that, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Hey, the guys made $1 zillion, and but it does to a degree. It helps both sports.
Right.
Bring it back.
Does?
It does. It does.
But what about the heavyweight? Boxing is still about the heavyweights. What if we were to get Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua? Can we make this fight happen? And if it did happen, who do you like?
That fight has to happen. That fight has to happen. These two guys have different styles, no question about that. Wilder is a big guy and tall, strong. And I love watching him because he doesn't throw straight punches. His punches come like woo. And if it just grazes you,
right,
you're knocked out.
Right.
You know.
But you know what? When I'm watching fight Sugar Ray, he only gets wild with the looping punches once he gets the guy in trouble. If you watch
That's true.
If you watch him fight,
Yeah.
he's really now he's not technical like Joshua because Joshua was the super heavyweight. He won the gold medal.
Right.
So obviously he's a fundamentally sound boxer, more
Correct.
skilled of a boxer than Wilder. But I believe somebody's going to sleep in this fight.
Oh, no question about it. Yeah.
Hey, somebody.
I'm so upset right now. You sound so much more educated than We're talking about sport. But you are so right. You're so right. Because Joshua is fundamentally sound.
Yes.
You know, and that's a good fight. That fight should be made.
But the thing with Joshua, go ahead, Skip, go ahead.
Well, we did see Triple G and Canelo for a second
Yes.
time, and I thought Triple G won that fight and got robbed because I thought he dominated the fight. Again, for a second time. How did you see it?
Those fights. You know, those fights are so close. It's so subjective.
Right.
You know, and it depends on who you ask. I mean, you can ask 20 people, and you get 20 different answers. You know.
And your answer was what?
Canelo.
Really? Because?
I just thought that again, this is my perception because I'm saying he controlled the fight. Wasn't as much action as we wanted to see. Like it's like when I fought Duran the second time. I did the right thing, fought the right way. Yeah.
You didn't get caught up in that ego thing, like.
This thing can get you out of trouble, but it can get you in a lot of trouble. You know? No, in all facets.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, that fight was close. It was very, very close.
You want to see a three-peat? You want to see a trilogy?
Yeah, this should. In fact, you know what? I'm so sad. Well, not totally sad, but I didn't fight Tommy Hearns earlier because we came back for our second fight, which I thought he won the fight. I told you guys that, didn't I? Son of a bitch. But but you know, I mean, boxing is my life, man. And so these challenges, these controversial fights, I'm all about that, man. I get involved. I get involved so much, and I take it to heart.
You do.
I do take it to heart, man.
Oh, this has been so interesting.
was.
But before you go, will you tell us about your foundation briefly?
10 years now. We're going to 10 years. And, you know, I tell you, it's all about me giving back. I'm a blessed man. I've been a fighter for, 50 years? 50 years I've been punching people around. And I just want to give back. And with my foundation, with B. Riley and Company, I got people that step forward and make a difference in someone's life, you know?
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to fight Skip.
You know what? For the right amount of money, we could arrange that.
You sure?
I think people would watch that.
Yeah. So what should we have next? Should it be like a interest paper form?
You call it. I don't know.
I call you, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But get it from me, Sugar Ray.
Hey, I can go 12 rounds.
No, we're not going 12 rounds. We're going 5.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Love the stories. All right, I'm inspired. Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
Brandon
you.
Marshall, is this the end for him? We're going to discuss that.
No mercy.
Brandon Marshall was released by the Seahawks yesterday. He only had 11 catches and 1 touchdown for Seattle this year, but reportedly he still wants to play. The 13-year vet made 6 Pro Bowls in his career, and he had 6 seasons with at least 100 catches, which is the most by any player in history. All right, Shannon, if this is the end, how will you view his career?
Here's a guy that had a very troubled start to his career, Skip. It's been chronicled, it's been cataloged, so we know some of the issues that he had to deal with, the mental illness and the bipolar. He got treatment, and he was on the straight and narrow. Jenny, you mentioned it. He has 6 100-catch seasons. Went to the Pro Bowl with 4 different teams. But in the process, Skip, there were those teams, they were happy to have him, but they couldn't wait to get rid of him.
That's true.
The Broncos were ready to get rid of him. The Bears were ready to get rid of him. So were the Dolphins. He had a good season, went to the Pro Bowl with the Jets. And for whatever, and Brandon, the last couple of years, Brandon kind of retired and didn't tell the NFL because he was a shell of himself at the Giants, and he's a shell of himself now. And I understand he wants to continue to play, Skip. He's 970 catches. There's something about that nice round number of 1,000. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get it given he only had 11 catches in 7 games this season. So clearly he's not the same receiver. A big body receiver. He's 16th in catches overall, 22nd in yards, tied for 22nd in touchdowns, over 12,000 yards. So I think he's going to get some very, very strong consideration. He's been to 6 Pro Bowls
for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's going to get some strong consideration.
Oof.
Obviously, Skip, they're going to look at some of the things that happened with him on the field, with him off the field, and that's going to play heavily because now the way they've instituted the rules, what you did off the field weighs as much as what you did on the field. So he's probably going to, come up with some resistance. But I think the 6 Pro Bowls will give him, and the 6 100. That's still a lot. No other receiver's done that.
Just on numbers.
Yes, yes. But again, they're gonna say, well, he did. See, when I look at Brandon Skip, I look at the Skip dependent positions. It's hard to judge them and say, well, he didn't even make it to the playoffs. Look at some of the guys he's playing with. It's hard to get to the playoffs when you're playing with quarterbacks like that. So I don't hold that nearly against him as much as some of the other guys, but he had a phenomenal career given what he went through the first 3 or 4 years of his career.
So I disqualify myself from this discussion because I am not objective when it comes to Brandon Marshall because I like the heck out of him off the football field. And I admire him greatly for what he overcame. Because you want to talk about troubled.
Yes.
Whew, borderline personality disorder, which I assume led to all sorts of domestic violence issues and assault allegations. And then there was the DUI and one thing after another. And I'm pretty sure he overcame all that.
Did.
I think he turned his off-the-field life around, and he's become a spokesman for these causes. And there's a lot to love there. On the field, he starts out as a 6'5", 235-pound, 4'5" running wide receiver. We'd never seen anything quite like that, have we?
Nope.
I mean, seriously. He's big enough to play your position.
He could have.
Right? Didn't you come out in that?
Yes.
What did you weigh coming out of Savannah State?
Well, Skip, I played basically my whole career at about 228 pounds.
Okay, so he was 235 when he was drafted. So he was as big and physical a wide receiver as we've ever. He took it up a whole level.
Yes.
And yet, wherever he went, it didn't go exactly right. Now
it didn't end well. It started out well. It just didn't end well.
Your man Mike Shanahan loved him, and he loved my guy Jay Cutler, and they made some magic, but they didn't make playoff magic, right? And then he reunited with Jay in Chicago, and he had a 10-6 year in Chicago, and he had a 10-6 year with the Jets, but they didn't make the playoffs.
It kind of spiraled, Skip, when you remember when Mike got fired and they brought in Josh McDaniels. And Josh McDaniels, and he butted head immediately. There's pictures of him punting the ball in practice. They're doing pat and go. He's punting the ball. But he still holds the record for the most catches in a single game with 21.
Yeah.
So he had ability. To witness his best friend, Darren Williams. Remember the incident in Denver? Darren ended up dying in his arm. Yes. So he overcame a lot, Skip. He had a phenomenal career. If someone would have told him coming from Central Florida, this is going to be your career over a 11, 12-year span, I'm sure he takes it. There's no question. 12,000 yards, 970 catches, 6 Pro Bowls, 6 100-catch seasons.
I know, but even though it is a dependent position and you can't blame it all, dump it on his shoulder pads, he just never even played in a single playoff game.
Nope.
Which doesn't serve you well when it comes time to judge for the Hall of Fame.
And I'm sure they're going to ask him, they're going to ask some of his teammates what type of teammate he was.
Well, what wide receiver is a great teammate? I don't know. I told you Michael Irvin.
Well, I played with Rod and Ed. We had a good old time. I was a good one. Good old wholesome. Down home.
Confident over here. You're the best.
You had Terrell Davis to carry you home.
Oh, man, why you keep saying that?
That's what you had.
But I did go to the playoffs before TD got there.
Well,
and I won a playoff game.
And there was this guy named Elway throwing the football.
Now when I went to Baltimore, you're going to say Ray Lewis is the greatest defense ever.
Hey, that might have been the greatest single year's defense that I ever saw.
Yeah.
Right?
It might have been. To give up 10 points a game, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But O'Shea, they needed O'Shea.
Yeah.
I mean, Skip? Every comic book, if you got a hero, you need a villain.
Yeah.
Okay, so which part are you?
I wasn't no villain.
So I just want to congratulate Brandon Marshall on a great career.
Yeah, and come sit and talk with us, Brandon.
Yeah, he can do that. He can really talk.
Okay, maybe we'll get that in the works. Yep. Tonight, the Lakers back in the mix. Is this a must-win for LeBron and his team? I feel like we've been saying that a lot. We'll discuss next.
We'll get the dub tonight.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. LeBron and the Lakers will be back at Staples tonight to face the Mavericks. LA is trying to avoid a third straight loss. Both teams come into this one at 2-5. Shannon, what do you expect tonight?
I expect the Lakers to win convincingly.
Convincingly?
Convincingly,
Yikes.
at least by double figures.
Yeah.
Bron's going to take care of them tonight. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing Luka Doncic play because I hadn't seen him play much, but he's off to a great start.
He
20
is.
points, 6
Definitely is.
assists, and 4 rebounds. But you know what, Skip? Since losing to the Mavs in the finals, LeBron is 11-12 in his last 12 games against the Mavs. Now, I'm not saying that makes up for it, Skip, or you saying it makes up. I know where you're going to go with this. No. But LeBron James and the Lakers will take care of business tonight, and we're about to get on the hot
Are you
streak.
suggesting LeBron might have a meltdown like he did against Dallas in the finals? Yikes.
You ruined
Wow.
everything. You just ruined everything.
So we got Luka versus Luke, as in Luka Doncic versus assistant coach Luke Walton.
Man, this is the head coach.
He's head coach. So I will remind you, Dallas is playing pretty well because Luke is leading them in scoring right now at 20 a game, and they took my San Antonio Spurs to overtime the other night in San Antonio, and it was close. And I think this game will go down to the wire. I think because every Laker game seems to go to the wire. And you know what? I'm going to give your man the nod tonight. I say LeBron James finally figures out how to close a deal. That they win tonight.
He don't need to figure out. He's been closing since he's been in the NBA.
Well, he hadn't closed yet in L.A.
He's going to close it. He got a triple dub, though.
Closed your restaurant yet because he hadn't even been able to get in it.
Bet he get in tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you better stay open late because I think this one's going to go to
It ain't
the
gonna come
wire.
and I'm upset because Joy had a Halloween party. She didn't invite me.
Really?
So next year I'm coming and I'm busting it up. So Joy, just so you know, I'm coming to the Halloween party next year, and I'm upset about not getting invited this year. But LeBron gonna do work.
You're gonna dress up like LeBron?
Nope.
You're gonna go
That
as
is
LeBron?
it for us.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.